Hi, hello, welcome back to Math&Me with me, Nikhila Shankar. This is chapter 6, application of derivatives. So, இவ்வளவு நேரம் derivatives பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தோம், differentiation அதெல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தோம். So, we learned different forms இல்லையா? You learned dy by dx, which is change of y with respect to x. Correct? அதே மாதிரி dx by dy, which is change of x with respect to which variable? With respect to y. Change of x with respect to t. So, இந்த மாதிரி different variables நம்ம பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தோம். இந்த formலலாம் இருக்கலாம். Now, we are going to see rate of change of quantities, which I just explained. So, this is going to be change of y with respect to x. Change of x with respect to y. Okay? Now, if there are, you have, for example, dy by dx. But, y is changing in terms of t and x is also changing in terms of t. So, in the mari irundhuduna, how do you write your dy by dx? It is going to be dy by dt. Yena y is changing in terms of t. Illaya adhe mari x is also changing in terms of t. So, அப்படி இருக்கும்போது dy by dx can be written in such a way. So, இதை further simplify பண்ணா என்ன ஆகும்? dy by dt divided by dx by dt, which is dt by dx. When I cancel the dt and the dt, I have dy divided by dx. So, இந்த இடத்துல basically values நம்ம substitute பண்ணுவோம். dt cancel பண்ணாம, but you differentiate with respect to t. இல்லையா? So, that is what is given here. And there's one more thing. So, if there is change of y with respect to x, then it is y with respect to x. And you can substitute a particular value. X equals x naught and substitute பண்ணலாம். So, your rate of change of y with respect to x at x is equal to x naught. Okay, இந்த மாதிரி different values க்கு நம்ம substitute பண்ணலாம். வெறும் x variable லே விடாம you can substitute some numbers so that your final answer is in terms of numbers. Okay, and இங்க dx by dt denominatorல இருக்கு, so it should not be 0. So, this is something that we generally know. Okay, so let us solve some example. You'll understand. Example 1. Find the rate of change of area of a circle per second with respect to its radius. Okay, so இப்போ என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கு? Rate of change of area கேட்டிருக்கான். So, rate of change of area with respect to radius. Okay, with respect to என்னன்றதை பார்க்கணும். With respect to its radius. They have given it changes per second, but second பார்த்த உடனே dA by dt னு போட்டுறக்கூடாது. It is not with respect to time. Every second தானே ஏரியா மாறும். Time increase ஆக தான் ஏரியாவும் சேஞ்ச் ஆக போகுது. So, that is understood. But here in this question, it is with respect to radius. So, அதனால நம்ம denominatorல என்னவோ அதை clear-ஆ எழுதணும். It is dA with respect to dr, which is our radius. So, இப்போ இந்த sum எப்படி போட போறோம்? What do you know? Area of circle is going to be pi r square. Correct? So, when I differentiate, I have dA by dr is going to be d by dr times pi r square. Differentiation நிறைய போன chapterல போட்டாச்சு. Now, how do you differentiate? Pi is a constant. It can come out. So, I have pi d by dr times r square. So, r square differentiate panna, I have pi times 2r. Okay, but what are they asking? Rate of change with respect to radius when radius equals 5 centimeters. So, that is even more going to be simple. So, when radius equals 5 centimeter, you are going to substitute the value of r equals 5 for this. அது இந்த மாதிரி தான் எழுதுவோம். So, this is going to be pi times 2 into 5, which is going to be 10 pi. Okay, and what is the unit going to be? The unit is going to be area, இல்லையா? So, centimeter square, but with respect to radius. So, centimeter square by centimeter. Okay, புரிஞ்சுதா? So, this is going to be centimeter square with respect to radius. So, this is how you write it. Okay, okay. So, this is why we learned differentiation. Differentiation வந்து ABCDல வெறும் A மட்டும்தான். இப்போதான் B, C, D, F எல்லாம் படிக்க போறோம். Okay. Example 2. The volume of a cube is increasing at a rate of 9 cubic centimeters per second. So, இப்போ என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கு? Volume of a cube is increasing at a rate of 9 centimeter cubic centimeters per second. So, இந்த இடத்துல per second. And how much is it? 9 centimeter cube per second. புரிஞ்சுதா value எப்படி எழுதுறோம்னு? So, this is basically V க்கு centimeter cube and T க்கு seconds. What are they asking? How fast is the surface area increasing? So, surface area எவ்வளோ fast increase ஆகுது? So, ds when the length of the edge is 10 centimeters. So, how fast the surface area is increasing with respect to time? இப்போ volume with respect to time increase ஆச்சுன்னா surface area with respect to time தானே increase ஆகும். So, we are trying to find what this is when the edge centimeter is 10 centimeters. அப்போ edge of the cube வந்து நம்ம a ன்னு எடுத்துக்கலாம். So, a equals 10 centimeters. So, this is the edge of the cube. புரிஞ்சுதா? Let me read the question for you again. So, in the volume of the cube increasing at a rate of 9 centimeter cube per second. So, dV by dt. Now, how fast is the surface area increasing? Question mark. When the length of the edge is 10 centimeter cube. Okay, இப்போ first கொடுத்ததெல்லாம் எழுதியாச்சு. What is volume of cube? Volume of cube equals a cube. Okay, so this I have dv by dt equals d by dt of a cube. So this when I differentiate, I have 3a square times, we are differentiating with respect to t, but inga enna variable irukku? I have a, so I need to do dA divided by dt also. புரிஞ்சுதா? So this is going to be volume dv by dt equals 3a square times dA divided by dt. You also have to differentiate the variable that is inside. We are not differentiating with respect to the edge, we are differentiating with respect to time. Okay, now what are they asking for? ds by dt, rate of change of surface area. What is the surface area of a cube? You need the surface area to substitute. So surface area of cube equals 6 times a square. Correct? In a cube you have 6 different faces. Ipo idu unga cube na, you have 6 different faces and one side oda area is going to be a into a square, and you have 6 sides, so it is going to be 6a square. In the formula la nama volume chapter la padichirukom class 11 la. Okay, so 6a square, when I substitute I have d by dt of 6a square. This when I differentiate, I have 2 comes down, so 12a times, you have to differentiate dA divided by dt. From this particular equation, I have a given value. Correct? How do I solve? I have 9 centimeter cube per second is given. So I'm going to write 9 equals, what is on the other side? I have 3a square times dA divided by dt. If I get dA divided by dt value veno, so what am I going to do? I have dA divided by dt equals, this value goes to the other side. I have 9 divided by 3a square, and I cancel. I have 3 3s are, yeah, so this is going to be 3 divided by a square. So I have found out the value for dA divided by dt. So when I substitute it here, I have ds divided by dt equals 12a times dA divided by dt is 3 divided by a square, and I need to find this when the edge of the cube is 10 centimeter. Correct? It is given in the question when the edge of the cube is 10 centimeter. So that is what we wrote here. So this has to be a equals 10. So when I solve, I can cancel the a and the a. What will I be left with? Numerator la 36 divided by a when a equals 10. So this is going to be 36 divided by 10, which is 3.6. And what are we talking about? Surface area. So this is going to be centimeter square with respect to time, which is seconds. With respect to seconds. So centimeter square divided by second. Okay, Punjada? This is how you solve. Now, example 3. A stone is dropped into a quiet lake and the waves move in a move in circles at a speed of 4 centimeter per second. So enna kuduthirukku, you drop a stone and the waves move in circular motion. Okay, so basically you have this. இந்த இடத்துல இப்ப சென்டர்ல கல்ல போட்டா என்ன ஆகும்? தண்ணி வந்து சர்க்கிளா போகும். So a stone is dropped into a quiet lake and waves move in circles at a speed of 4 centimeter per second. So waves move at a speed na, so இங்கேந்து இங்க போறதுக்கு 4 centimeter per second. So what is increasing? The radius is increasing. So dr by dt, the radius with respect to time is increasing at a rate of 4 centimeter per second. In the centimeter, so it is going to be radius. It is not going to be area or the circumference. Correct? So dr by dt is given. What is asked? At the instant when the radius of the circular wave is 10 centimeter. If radius 10 centimeter. Okay. How fast is the enclosed area increasing? So area, how fast is it increasing? So dA divided by dt. How fast the area is increasing with respect to time. Okay, per second evlo increase agudhu. So this is going to be, I have dA by dt. So first area of circle, what is it? It is going to be pi r square. So when I substitute, I have dA by dt equals dA by dt times pi r square. So pi is a constant. D by dt of r square is going to be 2r times dr by dt. We are differentiating with respect to time. So r you nama thaniya differentiate panna, you get dr by dt. Okay, don't forget that. So when I substitute the value now, inge dr by dt enna 4 centimeter per second. So pi times 2r times 4. When my r value is 10, I need to substitute. So I have substituted for dr by dt. R oda value 10 centimeter na enna kadaikum kekranga. So this I have 4 2s are 8 pi r when r equals 10. So this is going to be 8 pi times 10, which is 80 pi. And what is the unit? How fast is the area changing? So it is going to be centimeter square per second. Area oda unit enna? Centimeter square. Square units illaya. So it is going to be 80 pi centimeter square per second. Okay, Punjada? Now example 4. the length x of a rectangle is decreasing at a rate of 3 centimeter per minute. Okay, இந்த இடத்துல minute கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. And the width y is increasing at a rate of 2 centimeter per minute. மினிட்டா செகண்டா இதெல்லாம் நம்ம கேர்ஃபுல்லா பார்த்து போடணும். அப்படி இல்லாட்டி கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணணும். ஃபைனல் ஆன்சரும் மினிட்லயே கேக்குறாங்கன்னா மினிட்லயே விட்டுறலாம். செகண்ட்ஸ்ல கேக்குறாங்கன்னா கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணணும். அதனால பார்த்து கேர்ஃபுல்லா போடுங்க. So the length of the rectangle is decreasing. So the length with respect to time is decreasing. Now how do you write? Minus 3 centimeter per minute. If it's decreasing, it is going to be minus. If it's increasing, it is going to be plus. Okay, so this is one thing you have to remember. And the width dy by dt is increasing at a rate of 2 centimeter per minute. They have also given the value x equals 10 centimeter and y equals 6 centimeter. Find the rate of change of perimeter. So first perimeter. What is my perimeter of a rectangle? It is going to be 2 times length plus breadth. Yeah. So what do you have in a rectangle? So in a rectangle you have x is my length and y is my breadth. Again x, y opposite sides are equal. The perimeter is going to be x plus y plus y. So how do you remember? இதெல்லாம் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும் volume chapterல இருந்து. So 2 times x plus y. Now I need to find how the rate of change of perimeter, what the rate of change of perimeter is. So I have dp by dt equals 2 times x plus y. How it's changing with respect to time. I've substituted for perimeter. So what do I have? 2 is a constant. I can take it outside. Bracket la enna irukku? Dx divided by dt plus dy divided by dt. I am differentiating x with respect to t and y with respect to t. And I already have the values. When I substitute the values, what do I have? 2 times dx by dt is minus 3 plus dy by dt is 2. So when I substitute, I have 2 into minus 1, which is going to be minus 2 centimeter per minute. Perimeter or centimeter per minute. Okay. So what does this mean? You're getting the value in minus. This means the perimeter is increasing or decreasing. The perimeter is decreasing because you have a negative value. So decreasing at the rate of 2 centimeter per minute. So this is how you write your answer. Okay. For second subsection, the area of the rectangle. Area of the rectangle is length into breadth. So in this case, the area x times y. So how fast is the area changing? So dA by dt. This is going to be d by dt times xy. Here you have a product rule. So in a formula vu dash plus uv dash. When I substitute that, I have x times dy by dt plus y times dx divided by dt. Correct? So here I have x times ella value kuduthirukku. What is my x? X is going to be 10 centimeters. dy by dt is 2. So I have 10 times 2 plus inga irukku y times, so 6 times minus 3. So I have 6 times minus 3. When I solve this, 20 minus 18, which is going to be 2 centimeter square per minute. We are talking about area here, so it is going to be centimeter square per minute. So here it is plus, so the area is increasing. So every final answer, area is increasing at the rate of 2 centimeter square per minute. Okay, simple. So this is how you write. Please copy. Next example. The total cost in rupees associated with the production of x units is given by, of a given item is given by cx. C of x kuduthirukanga. Find the marginal cost when 3 units are produced, where by marginal cost, we mean that the instantaneous rate of change of total cost at any level. So marginal cost na enna kuduthirukanga. What is a marginal cost? Instantaneous rate of change of total cost. Rate of change of total cost, DC, cost, with respect to the level of output. At any level of output, which means production of x units. Correct? So ivlo units production la ivlo cost selavagudhu. So it is going to be cost with respect to how many units? So DC divided by dx. So this is what they are asking for. This is my marginal cost. Understood? இதுக்கெல்லாம் மீனிங் பெருசா தெரியணுங்கிறது அவசியம் கிடையாது. ப்ராப்ளமை புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டாலே போதும். காஸ்ட் கொடுத்துருக்கு, ஹவு மெனி யூனிட்ஸ்னு கொடுத்துருக்கு. ஸோ ஹவு மெனி யூனிட்ஸை பொறுத்து தானே காஸ்ட் மாறப்போகுது. ஹவு மெனி யூனிட்ஸ் காஸ்ட் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆச்சுன்னா யூனிட்ஸும் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகலாம். யூனிட்ஸ் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆச்சுன்னா காஸ்ட் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகலாம். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் ஹவு இட்ஸ் கோயிங் டு பி. ஸோ ஐ ஹவ் கிவன் சி ஆஃப் எக்ஸ். சி ஆஃப் எக்ஸ் ஈக்குவல்ஸ் 0.005 x cube minus 0.02 x square plus 30x plus 5000. I need to differentiate. So d by dx of c is going to be d by dx of 0.005 x cube minus 0.02 x square plus 30x plus 5000. Differentiation la nyabam irukla, please watch my previous videos, chapter la potiruken differentiation chapter. So first term when I differentiate, I have 3 times 0.005 times x square. The power gets reduced, the power comes down and the power gets reduced, minus inga irukku 2 times 0.02 times x plus 30. This is a constant, so when you differentiate this you get a 0. So I have 5 3s are 15 and I have 3 decimal places. So 0.015 x square minus 2 2s are 4. So 0.04x plus 30. This is my marginal cost. And what are they asking? Where the marginal cost, find the marginal cost when 3 units are produced. So 3 units na anartham, only 3 units are produced, which means x equals 3. So when I substitute the value x equals 3, I have 0.015 times 3 square minus 0.04 times 3 plus 30. So when I multiply 0.015 times 9 minus, when I multiply this, 4 3s are 12, so 0.12 plus 30. So this is going to be 9 5s are 45, 4 9 1s are 9, 10 11 12 13, 1 0.135 minus 0.12 plus 30. So decimal values la carefully calculate pannunga. So what do you get? 0.135, 0.12. எப்படி calculate பண்ணனும் தெரியும்ல? So 510, 0.015, 30 plus 0.015, which is going to be 30.015. So this is going to be my answer, 30.015, which you can round off to 30.02, and this is going to be cost, ilya? So it is going to be rupees. Okay, please copy. Example 6. இந்த இவ்வளோ நேரம் marginal cost பார்த்தோம், இங்கே marginal revenue, which is going to be rate of change of total revenue with respect to number of units sold. அங்க number of units bought, இங்க number of units sold. Okay, அவ்வளவுதான். Now the total revenue in rupees received from sale of x units is going to be r of x. So they've given the revenue, which is 3x square plus 36x plus 5. Find the marginal revenue when x equals 5. Where by marginal revenue அதெல்லாம் கொடுத்திருக்கான். So this is going to be dr by dx, which is going to be d by dx of what is inside. So 3x square plus 36x plus 15. Okay, I'm doing it slowly. Each and every step proper போடுங்க, அப்பதான் mistake ஆகாது. When I differentiate, the power comes down and the power gets reduced by 1. 6x plus 36 when x equals 5. So this is what is asked. dr by dx when x equals 6. So when I substitute 6 times 5 plus 36, so it is going to be 30 plus 36, which is going to be 66, and this is going to be my revenue. Again, it is in rupees. Okay, so rupees 66. Please copy. So with this we are done with the example questions. Let's move on to exercise questions. போன வீடியோல example questions பார்த்தாச்சு. So look at the video also. Example questions so important. அதை solve பண்ணிட்டீங்கனால exercise is easy. Okay, now exercise 6.1. Find the rate of change of area of a circle. இந்த இடத்துல rate of change of area. So what is my area of circle? Area of circle equals pi r square. They're asking for rate of change of area with respect to radius. With respect to என்னங்கிறது important. With respect to radius. So they're asking for dA by dr. Okay, a rate of change of area with respect to the radius when they've given different values for r. So let me just find dA by dr first. So I have d by dr times pi r square. Pi is a constant, it comes out. D by dr of pi r square is going to be 2 times r. So when I substitute first subsection, r equals 3 centimeters. So I have d by dr when r equals 3 centimeter. Example இந்த மாதிரி தான் எழுதணும். So pi times 2r, r equals 3 centimeters. So when I substitute, I have pi 2 times 3, which is going to be 6 pi. And what is the unit going to be? It is going to be centimeter square. dA by dr, rate of change of area change ஆகுது இல்லையா? So this is going to be centimeter square with respect to centimeter. ஏன்னா with respect to radius இல்லையா? So this you can write it as with respect to centimeters. Now second, r equals 4 centimeters. So how do you write? Substitute the value simply. So dA by dr when r equals 4 centimeter is going to be pi times 2r when r equals 4 centimeters. This is going to be pi 2 4, which is 8 pi centimeter square per second. So the area oda rate of change நம்ம கண்டுபிடிச்சாச்சு. Okay, please copy. Question number 2. The volume of a cube is increasing at a rate of 8 centimeter cube per second. So இங்கே volume இது time இல்லையா? So இங்கே value கொடுத்தாச்சு dv divided by dt. That is why it is centimeter cube per second. dv by dt, volume per second. So the value that is given is dv by dt centimeter cube per second. என்ன கொடுத்திருக்காங்கறதை இப்படியும் நம்ம interpret பண்ணலாம். How fast is the surface area increasing? This is very similar to the example question. Example videos பாருங்க. It will be easy to understand. How fast is the surface area increasing? So how fast is the surface area increasing with respect to time? This is what they are asking. If the length of the edge, let me take the edge of the cube to be A. So the edge of the cube is going to be 12 centimeters. Okay. So first, what all do I need? Volume of cube is going to be A cube and surface area we know. So surface area of a cube is going to be 6a square. Correct? Volume of, area of one side is going to be A into A, and in a cube I have 6 sides. So it is going to be 6a square. Okay, volume, surface area, perimeter, edge, இது எல்லாமே ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும் for everything. Sphere, cylinder, cube, cuboid, cone, அப்புறம் வேற என்னலாம் இருக்கு. So everything you have to remember. Okay, square, rectangle, cube, cuboid, everything you have to remember. Okay, so first let me do dv by dt. So I have dv by dt equals d by dt of a cube. So this is going to be, when I differentiate this, I have 3a square. But remember, your variable of differentiation is t, and the variable that is inside is a. So adhiyum differentiate pannolla. So I have dA divided by dt. Okay, understood? You have to differentiate the variable that is inside also. Now what is dv by dt from question? It is 8 centimeter cube. So when I substitute, 8 equals 3a square times dA divided by dt. So from this I have dA by dt equals, when this goes to the other side, 8 divided by 3a square. So I found out what my dA by dt is. Now I need to find my ds divided by dt. So if ds divided by dt equals d by dt of surface area 6a square. When I differentiate this, I have 12a times the variable of differentiation is t, so dA divided by dt. So I can substitute the value of dA by dt from here. So I have 12a times 8 divided by 3a square. So when I simplify this, what do I have? The a and the a gets cancelled. I have 3 4s are 12. So what do I have? 8 4s are 32 divided by a, and my edge of the cube is already given, which is 12 centimeters. Correct? So a equals 12 centimeter. When I substitute 32 divided by 12, which when I simplify, I have 2 6 are 2 illa 4 table la cancel pannalama. So 4 3s are 4, 8s are 32. So this is going to be 8 divided by 3, and we are solving for surface area. So it is going to be 8 by 3 centimeter square per second. So rate of change of surface area with respect to time. Units are ரொம்ப important. Okay. Now moving on to third question. The radius of a circle is increasing uniformly at a rate of 3 centimeter per second. So 3 centimeter per second. So I have centimeter per second. Now we are talking about radius with respect to time. Change of radius with respect to time is given to be 3 centimeter per second. Find the rate of change at which the area of the circle is increasing. So dA by dt is asked when the radius is given to be 10 centimeters. Okay, solve பண்ணலாமா? This is very easy. So what is my area of circle? எல்லா questionுக்கும் இந்த மாதிரி எழுதுங்க, அப்பதான் mistake ஆகாது. Area of circle is going to be pi r square. So I need dA by dt, which is going to be d by dt times pi r square. Pi is a constant. R square differentiate panna 2r, but here we are differentiating with respect to t. So I have to differentiate the variable r also, which is dr divided by dt. So I have pi times 2r, and what is my dr by dt from the question? It is going to be 3. So this is going to be 3 2s are 6 pi r, and they have asked when the radius is 10 centimeter. So 10 centimeter substitute panna, r equals 10, 6 pi times 10, which is 60 pi, and we are talking about rate of change of area, which is going to be centimeter square per second. Okay, very simple. Question number 4. An edge of a variable cube is increasing at a rate of 3 centimeter per second. Edge of a variable cube na artham, cube oda length change aite irukku. Variable na it is either increasing or decreasing. Okay, so here the variable cube, edge of the variable cube, so let me take the edge to be a, and it is increasing at a rate of 3 centimeter per second. So dA by dt is what we are talking about, which is 3 centimeter per second. How fast is the volume of the cube increasing? So volume of the cube, rate of change of volume of cube enna if the edge is 10 centimeter long. Okay, so we'll do this. What is volume of cube first? Volume of cube is going to be a cube, So dv by dt equals d by dt of a cube. So this when I differentiate, I have 3a square, but my variable of differentiation is t and the variable that's inside is a. So adiyum differentiate pannom. So dA by dt. This is going to be, when I substitute what's given in the question, 3 centimeter already kuduthirukkan. So 3a square times 3, which is going to be 9a square. And they have also given the value of a, which is going to be 10 centimeters. So adiyum substitute panna, a equals 10 centimeters, which is going to be 9 times 10 square, which is 900. And we are talking about the rate of change of volume, which is going to be centimeter cube per second. Okay, units enna nama question liye irukku. So rate of change of volume is going to be 900 centimeter cube per second. Okay, question number 5. This is very similar to the example question. Please watch that video also. A stone is dropped into a quiet lake and waves move in circles at a speed of 5 centimeter per second. Abdina enna you put a stone and the waves are moving in a circular motion and the radius is changing. So basically idu vandu 5 centimeter per second, it's changing from here to here and from here to here. So what is changing? The radius is basically changing with respect to time, which is 5 centimeter per second. You have understood? A stone is dropped in a quiet lake and waves move in circles at a speed of. So waves move aguduna inge 5 centimeter per second, inge 5 centimeter per second. From here to here, it's changing at a rate of 5 centimeter per second. So what is given? Radius is given. So radius is going to be 5 centimeter per second, rate of change of radius. At the instant when the radius of the circular wave is 8 centimeters, the radius is given. How fast is the enclosed area increasing? So they are asking for dA by dt. Again, area of circle, we are talking about a circle here. So it's going to be pi r square. So dA by dt equals d by dt of pi r square. When I differentiate, pi is a constant, r square or the differentiation is 2r, and remember you have to differentiate r with respect to t. Okay, when I substitute what is given in the question, dr by dt is given. So pi times 2r times 5. When I multiply this, I have 10 pi r, and the radius is also given, which is 8 centimeters. Correct? So when I substitute that, I have 10 pi times 8, which is 80 pi, and we are talking about area with respect to time. So centimeter square per second. Okay, please copy. Question number 6. The radius of a circle is increasing at a rate of 0.7 centimeter per second. So 0.7 centimeter per second na dr by dt. This is going to be 0.7 centimeter per second. What is the rate of increase of circumference? So they're asking for dc by dt. Okay, so what happens? Circumference of a circle in a first. Circumference of a circle is going to be 2 pi r. In that a radius value kudukla, we'll see. dc by dt is going to be d by dt times 2 pi r. 2 pi is a constant. You have to differentiate r with respect to t. dr by dt is already given in the question, which is 2 pi times 0.7. So this is going to be 1.4 times pi. We are talking about the circumference. Circumference in a centimeter per second. Okay, this is why we are not given the value of r. Yana in the particular equation la r illa. Correct? We have differentiated r with respect to t. So you do not have variable r and the radius kudukala. Okay, please copy. Question number 7. The length x of a rectangle is decreasing at a rate of 5 centimeter per minute. This is also similar to example question. So length of a rectangle is decreasing na eppadi edhuvom at the rate of 5 centimeter per minute nu kuduthirukkan. Indha per minute a second aan paarenga. If the final answer is in terms of seconds, you have to convert minutes to seconds. Illa minute liye vitrala if the final answer is also in terms of minutes. Okay, ipo indha edathila nama minute vechi dhaan poda porom. So length of the rectangle, which is dx divided by dt. Correct? 5 centimeter per minute, we are talking about time here. So this is going to be 5 centimeter per minute, and the width y, they are saying it is decreasing at a rate of, decreasing na it is going to be minus is going to be decreasing, plus na it is going to be increasing. Okay, so this is how you denote in differentiation. And y, width y is increasing at a rate of, which is dy by dt equals 4 centimeter per minute. They have also given the value of length and breadth, x equals 8 and y equals 6 centimeter. Find the rate of change of perimeter, second subsection area. So first perimeter podalama. So perimeter of a rectangle is going to be 2 times x plus y. You have a rectangle and the length is x and the breadth is y. So the perimeter is going to be x plus y, which is 2 times x plus y. Correct? So dp by dt, rate of change of perimeter, is going to be d by dt of 2 times x plus y. 2 is a constant. When I differentiate x and y with respect to dt, I'll have dx by dt plus dy by dt. And the values are directly given. I can simply substitute. So what do I have? 2 times dx by dt minus 5 plus dy by dt is 4. So I have 2 times minus 1, which is minus 2. Enna answer negative la varudhu. This means the perimeter is decreasing. Perimeter na enna? Centimeter per minute. So how do you write the final answer? Perimeter is decreasing because you got the answer in minus. Illaya? Perimeter is decreasing at the rate of 2 centimeter per minute. Okay, this is how you write your final answer. Now subsection B, area of rectangle. So we have B equals area of rectangle in length into breadth, x into y. So I need to find dA by dt, which is d by dt of x times y. This is going to be multiplication. So v u dash plus uv dash. We learned this in differentiation. Correct? So this is going to be x times dy by dt plus y times dx by dt. Every value is given. So when I substitute x dy by dt, which is going to be 8 times 4. So 8 times 4 plus y into dx by dt. Y n as 6 into minus 5. Okay. So 6 times minus 5, which is going to be 8 4s are 32 plus 6 5s are 30. I have a minus. So this is going to be 2 centimeters square per minute. We are talking about area with respect to time. Okay. So centimeter square. Please copy. So here the area is increasing. You got a plus. Correct? So the area is increasing. How do you write the final answer? Area is increasing at the rate of 2 centimeter square per minute. Okay. Question number 8. A balloon which always remains spherical on inflation. So we are talking about sphere here. Okay. It's being inflated by pumping 900 cubic centimeters of gas per second. So what are we talking about here? We are talking about a sphere. When you have 900 cubic centimeters, now we are talking about volume. So volume of a sphere is going to be 4 by 3 pi r cube. What is given? The volume of cube is increasing at a rate of 900 cubic centimeter per second. I know it's going to be second, so it is with respect to time, dv by dt. Okay, so this is how you decode the question. Now, what is asked? Find the rate at which the radius of the balloon increases. So they are asking for rate at which the radius increases when the radius is given to be 15 centimeters. So here you have to find dr by dt. Okay, and dv by dt is already given. Per second. Now, I have dv by dt equals, when I substitute the formula. So volume enna? 4 by 3 pi r cube. In the formula 4 by 3 pi is a constant. When I differentiate r cube, you get 3r square times the variable of differentiation is t. And what is inside r? So you have to differentiate that, which is going to be dr divided by dt. So my dv by dt is already given, which is 900 equals, when I cancel this, 3 and the 3 gets cancelled. I have 4 pi r square times dr by dt. So from here, what is my dr by dt? It is going to be 900 divided by 4 pi r square. And my r value is already given, which is 15. Correct? So when r equals 15, this is equal to 900 by 4 pi times 15 into 15. I'll write it as 15 into 15 for calculation. So I have 3 5s are, 3 3s are. Again, this I can do it in 5 tables. 5 6 are 30, 0. Again, 3 5s are, 3 2s are, 5 4. Okay, and the 4 and the 4 also gets cancelled. So I'll be left with 1 divided by pi, which is going to be 1 by 22 by 7. This I can write it as 7 divided by 22. Or you can leave it as 1 by pi. So this is going to be the final answer. Unit n as 7 by 22 centimeter per second. So the radius is increasing at a rate of 7 divided by 22 centimeters per second. Okay. Now, question number 9. Pay attention to the difference between 8th and the 9th question. A balloon which always remains spherical has a variable radius. Find the rate at which its volume is increasing with radius. So last question the rate of change of volume with time per second. In the rate of change of volume with respect to radius. So the value that's given is dv by dr. The value that's asked is dv by dr. When this is asked, when the radius is going to be 10 centimeters. Okay. So now volume of sphere you already wrote it in the previous question, but write it again. 4 by 3 pi r cube. dv by dr equals d by dr times 4 by 3 pi r cube. When I differentiate this, 4 by 3 pi is a constant. R cube with respect to dr is going to be 3r square. I see that the variable of differentiation is r and r. So dr by dr is 1. So adha nama thaniya ezhudha vendam. This I need to find when r equals 10 centimeters. So when I cancel, this gets cancelled. This is going to be 4 pi times r square, which is going to be 10 square, which is 400 pi. What are we finding? Rate of change of volume with respect to radius. So centimeter cube per centimeter. Okay. Please copy. Question number 10. A ladder 5 meter long is leaning against a wall. Okay. இப்போ ஒரு wall இருக்கு. So consider this to be my wall and there's a ladder. This is my ladder which is 5 meter long. The bottom of the ladder is pulled along the ground. In the bottom, I'm going to pull it to this side. Pull the ladder to my left. Okay. And what is given? The ladder is pulled along the ground away from the wall. அதனால தான் left. Towards the wall, you will pull it like this. But it's away from the wall. So I'm pulling it towards the left at the rate of 2 centimeter per second. Ipo, let me take this distance to be x. So I have dx by dt. The rate at which the bottom length changes when I pull the ladder is going to be 2 centimeter per second. Ladder na pull pandrathoda rate of change என்னவா இருக்கு 2 centimeter per second இருக்கு. How fast is the height changing? So let me take this as height. How fast is the height on the wall decreasing? So dh by dt would rate enna when the foot of the ladder is 4 meter away from the wall. When the foot of the ladder, so when initially the ladder away from the wall was 4 meters. So I have x equals 4 meter. When I pull the ladder, initially 4 meter irundhudu, but pull panadukku apparama it is no more 4 meter, but they have given that it changes with respect to 2 centimeter per second. Correct? இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல the values are given with respect to meter and centimeter. So in the 5 meter, 4 meter இருக்கு. So this also I'll convert to meters. Centimeter to meter என்ன conversion? I know 1 meter equals 100 centimeter. So 1 centimeter equals 10 to the minus 2 meter. 2 centimeter equals 2 into 10 to the minus 2 meter, which is going to be 0.02 meter. I'm converting everything in terms of meter. Okay. So I need to find out dh divided by dt. So நமக்கு என்னென்ன equation தெரியும்? This basically looks like a right angled triangle. So இதிலேந்து என்ன equation கிடைக்கும்? I have hypotenuse square, which is 5 square equals h square plus x square. Correct? So this I have 25 equals h square plus x square. When I differentiate this, I have 0 equals with respect to time. I have d by dt of h square plus d by dt of x square. Okay. So this when I take it to the, when I solve, I'll solve it first. So 0 equals d by dt of h square is going to be 2h times dh divided by dt. Variable of differentiation is going to be t, mala h irukku. Plus this is going to be 2x times dx divided by dt. Okay. When I take this to the other side, I have minus 2x dx by dt equals 2h dh divided by dt. So the 2 and the 2 gets cancelled. So here I have minus x times dx by dt equals h times dh divided by dt. இப்போ x உம் h உம் என்ன value? X ஓட initial value, I know that it is 4 meters. But what is my initial value for h? I can use Pythagoras theorem. So it is going to be 5 square equals x square, which is 4 square plus h square. Correct? So h square equals 5 square minus 4 square, which is 25 minus 16, which is 9. So h equals plus or minus 3. The height cannot be negative. So h equals 3 meters. So I found out the value for h. So I have all the values now. h 3, x order value when it is going to be 4 meters, and dx by dt is going to be this. I converted it to meter. So 0.2 meter per second. So dx by dt equals minus a plus 0.02 meter per second. When I substitute all the given values, I have minus 4 times 0.02 equals h, which is going to be 3 times dh divided by dt. So I need dh divided by dt. So dh divided by dt equals minus 4 times 0.02 divided by 3, which is minus 0.08 divided by 3 meter per second. இதை சென்டிமீட்டரா கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணா I'll get minus 8 divided by 3 centimeter per second. ரெண்டு decimal place இப்படி வந்துரும்ல. So I have centimeter per second. I got the answer in a minus, which means the height is decreasing. So basically, the height of the wall decreases the rate of minus 8 divided by 3. Question number 11. A particle moves along the curve 6y equals x cube plus 2. Find the points on the curve at which the y coordinate is changing 8 times as fast as x coordinate. அப்படினா என்ன அர்த்தம்? The y coordinate is changing with respect to x at the rate of 8. இல்லையா? 8 times it's changing. dy by dx is going to be 8. The particle is moving along the curve. So என்ன equation கொடுத்திருக்கு? 6y equals x cube plus 2. Find the points on the curve, which means you need to find the value of x and y. You need to find out what the coordinate is, x comma y. Okay, so what do? We differentiate. We know the value of dy by dx. So enna irukku ipo? I'm going to differentiate whatever is given with respect to x. So I have 6 times dy by dx equals 3x square plus 0. So this is a constant. So I have 6 times dy by dx is already given, which is 8 equals 3x square. So from this I have 6 8s are 48 equals 3x square. So x square equals 48 divided by 3. So what happens when I cancel? I have 3 1s are 3, 6 are 18. So x equals plus or minus 4. So I have two different values for x. So x equals 4 and x equals minus 4. So how do I find the value for y? I have already given an equation. I'm given an equation in the question. So 6y equals x cube plus 2. So 6y equals x cube plus 2. So when x equals 4, I have 6y equals 4 cube plus 2. 6y equals 4 cube and 4 4s are 16. 16 4s are 64 plus 2. Y equals 66 divided by 6, which is going to be 11. So in the x value of x is going to be 4 and y is going to be 11. So 4 comma 11 is one of the coordinates. Then x equals minus 4. Enna kadaikum? 6y equals minus 4 cube plus 2. 6y equals minus 4 cube na minus 64 plus 2. So y equals minus 62 divided by 6. When I simplify this, what happens? 2 3s are 2 3s are 2 1s are. So minus 31 divided by 3. So what are the coordinates? I have minus 4 comma minus 31 divided by 3. So these are the two different coordinates. So this is my answer. Okay, please copy. Question number 12. The radius of an air bubble is increasing at a rate of half centimeter per second. So I have the radius changing with respect to time is going to be half centimeter per second. At what rate is the volume of the bubble increasing? So we are talking about sphere here. So dv by dt enna when the radius is going to be 1 centimeter. So we are talking about volume of sphere is going to be 4 by 3 pi r cube. So when I differentiate, dv by dt is going to be d by dt times 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 4 by 3 pi is a constant. D by dt of r cube is going to be 3r square. I need to differentiate the r. So dr divided by dt. And I'm given the value in the question. So I have the 3 and the 3 gets cancelled. 4 pi r square times 1 divided by 2. So this also gets cancelled. So I have 2 pi r square and the value of r is going to be 1. When I substitute 2 pi 1 square, which is going to be 2 pi. And what are we talking about? Volume. So it is going to be centimeter cube per second. So 2 pi centimeter cube per second. Please copy. So volume of the sphere is increasing. Adhiyum question liye kuduthita, but you can write the answer in your exam. Question number 13. A balloon which always remains spherical has a variable diameter. Okay, இந்த இடத்துல diameter கொடுத்திருக்கான். So you need to find the radius first. ஏன்னா நம்ம sphere ஓட வால்யூம்ல radius தான் இருக்கு இல்லையா? So the diameter is given to be 3 by 2 times 2x plus 1. So the diameter is 3 by 2 times 2x plus 1. So the radius is going to be diameter by 2, which is going to be 3 by 4 times 2x plus 1. Okay, I found out the radius. So they're asking for find the rate of change of its volume with respect to x. So they're asking for dv by dx. இது என்னன்னு கேக்குறோம். Okay, so let us find out volume of sphere is going to be 4 by 3 pi r cube. When I substitute the volume, when I substitute r in the volume, I have 4 by 3 pi times radius enna 3 by 4 times 2x plus 1 the whole cube. So I have 4 by 3 pi times 3 cube divided by 4 cube times 2x plus 1 the whole cube. So this gets cancelled, so I'll have a 3 square. This gets cancelled, I'll have a 4 square. So this is going to be 9 by 16 times 2x plus 1 the whole cube. This is my volume. When I differentiate this dv by dx, I have 9 by 16 times, when I differentiate this, I have 3 comes down, 2x plus 1, the power gets reduced by 1, times what is inside 2x plus 1. So, that differentiate panna, I'll have a 2. Okay, remember this? So, I can cancel 2 times 16, which is going to be 2 8s are 16. So, the constant is going to be 9 3s are 27 divided by 8 times 2x plus 1 the whole square, and the radius value is not given. So, this is my final answer. So, this is going to be, I have a pi. So, I have pi times. So, my final answer is rate of change of volume is going to be centimeter cube per centimeter. So, this is going to be my final answer. Okay. In that x oda value kudukala. So, we are finding the rate of change of volume with respect to x. Okay. Please copy. Question number 14. Sand is pouring from a pipe at a rate of 12 centimeter cube. It is forming, the falling sand forms a cone on the ground. So, cone mari form agudhu. So, when you pour, ipo beach la pomodhu, manna ipdi eduthu ipdi kottamodhu enna agum ipdi varulla sand vandu, it forms a cone. So, this is what is given in such a way that the height of the cone. So, you have the height of the cone and the radius of the cone. So, let me take the height to be h and the radius to be r. It is given that the height of the cone is 1/6 the radius of the base. And the volume is also given. So, volume changes at a rate of 12 centimeter cube per second. Sand is pouring from the pipe at a rate of 12 centimeter cube per second. So, dv by dt is given. Height ko radius ko kuduthirukkan. And how fast is the height of the sand cone increasing? So, dh by dt enna when the height is going to be 4 centimeters. Okay. So, you have to find dh by dt. So, I know that cone, volume of cone, we are talking about a cone here, is going to be 1 by 3 pi r square h. Correct? Idella volume chapter la padichirukom. So, here you have 1 by 3 times pi. R and h single variable na panna poren. I need dh by dt. I am going to write r in terms of h. So, r equals 6h. Ilya? R equals 6 times h. So, I have 6h the whole square maradradinga, times h. This is going to be pi by 3 times 36 h cube. I can cancel this 3 12s are. So, this is going to be 12 pi h cube. This is going to be my volume of cone. Now, dv by dt enna? dv by dt is going to be d by dt of 12 pi h cube, which is going to be 12 pi is a constant, 3h square times dh divided by dt, and this value is given to be 12. So, I have 12 equals 12 3s are 36. 36 pi h square times dh divided by dt. Let the multiply pannama, I'll have it as 12 into 3. So, 12 into 3 in vechikta, I can cancel the 12 and the 12. So, I'll be left with 1 equals 3 pi h square dh divided by dt. So, from here, I can write dh by dt equals 1 by 3 pi h square, and the value of h is given another 4. So, I have h equals 4, and I substitute, I have 1 by 3 pi times 4 square, which is 1 by 3 pi times 16. 16 3s are 48. So, I have 1 by 48 pi, and this is my rate of change of height. So, 48 pi centimeter per second. Okay, this is my answer. Please copy. Question number 15. This is very similar to the example. So, the total cost is given. They are asking for the rate of change of marginal cost when 17 units are produced. So, what does this mean? Marginal cost na the rate of change of cost with respect to number of units produced. So, x is the number of units produced and c is the total cost. Evlo units ki evlo cost. That is the rate of change. So, I am given c of x when I substitute d by dx of c and 0.007 x cube. Copy the question correctly. 003 03 ne edhiradinga. 15x plus 4000. When I differentiate this, I have d by dx of this is going to be 0.007 times 3x square times 3x square. Put a multiplication symbol or put a bracket or put a dot, anything. Minus 0.003 times 2x plus 15, and this is a constant, the differentiation becomes a 0. So I need dc divided by dx when the value of x, number of units produced, is going to be 17. Okay, marginal cost when 17 units are produced. X is the unit of items. Ilya? So when I substitute, I have first either multiply panna 7 3s are 21, 3 decimal places. So 21 x square, which is 17 square, minus 0.006, 3 2s are 6, times 17 plus 15. Okay, 17 square enna? Let me do 17 square. 7 7s are 49, 289. Ilya? 7 4 7s are 7, 11, 7, 1, 289 times 21. So what is this? 9 1s are 9, 289. 9 2s are 18, 1 8 2s are 16, 17, 1 2 2s are 4, 5. When I add 16, 1 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 6. I have 3 decimal places. So this is going to be 6.069. So I have 6.069 minus in the 17 into 6. So I need to do that. 17 6 are 7 6 are 42, 4 6 1s are 6, 102. I have 3 decimal places. So it is going to be 0.102 plus 15. So I need to do the math carefully. So 6.069 minus 0.102, which is going to be 7, 6. Either cancel panna, I have 9, 5. So it's going to be 5.967 plus 15 is going to be 20.967. When I round this off, I have 20.97. And this is in terms of rupees. Okay, please copy. Calculation da numbers alla correct ah podunga. Question number 16. The total revenue is given and the sale of X units. So idhu adhe da marginal cost, marginal revenue. Marginal revenue na number of units sold. Okay, that is number of units bought. Okay, now this is given. I need to find dr by dx, which is going to be d by dx times r oda value enna 13x square plus 26x plus 15. When I differentiate this, I have 13 times 2x plus 26, which is going to be 26x plus 26, when the value of x equals 7. So this is going to be 26 a common adda. I have x plus 1. When I substitute 26 times 7 plus 1, which is 26 into 8. When I multiply, 8 6 are 48, 8 2s are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this is going to be rupees 208. Okay, please copy. Choose the correct answer. 17th. The rate of change of area of a circle with respect to radius. So rate of change of area with respect to radius. Okay, so this is going to be d by dr of rate of area of circle in a pi r square equals pi is a constant. R square with respect to dr is going to be 2r, which is going to be 2 pi r, and the radius is given to be 6 centimeters. When I substitute, I have 12 pi, or I'll write one more step. This is going to be 2 pi times 6, 6 2s are 12 pi. 12 pi centimeter square with respect to radius. So which option? Option B. Okay, please copy. Last question of the exercise. So marginal revenue kuduthirukkan, you have to differentiate again. So I have dr by dx is going to be, this is exact example question. So d by dx of 3x square plus 36x plus 15. This is going to be 3 times 2x plus 36, which is going to be 6x plus 36. 6 a common adda, x plus 6 when x oda value is 15. So I have 6 times 15 plus 6, which is 6 into 21. 6 ones are 6, 126. So it is going to be option D, rupees 126. Okay, please copy. So with this, we are done with the first exercise. Let's move on to the next topic. Ivlo nero nama numbers vechu poto, inime variable vechu poda porom. Okay, that's the difference. Moving on to the next topic, increasing and decreasing functions. Ipo pone exercise la enna paathom, we got the values. We had minus 3. Abdina enartham, it is decreasing at the rate of 3. Illaya? Increasing abdina plus nu irukum. Ipo indha edathila you are going to see, you are not going to see values direct, you are only going to see variables. Ipo variables vandu increase agudha decrease agudha nu eppadi theriyum? You have two methods to find that. So what is my first method? Definition 1 says that, for example, in the graph nama paapom, from this graph what do you see? This is an increasing function, mala increase agudhu. This is a decreasing function, it's coming down. This is a constant function. Okay, so how do you represent this mathematically? How do you do this? So for example, here is my x1 and here is my x2. Similarly, here is my x1 and here is my x2. Here is my x1 and here is my x2. Okay, so when x1 is less than x2 all the time, correct? X1 is less than x2 all the time. When you have f of x1 is less than f of x2, அதாவது இங்க இருக்கிற value is going to be f of x1 and here the value is going to be f of x2. Sorry, this is not f of x1. This is my increasing function. If this is my f of x1. Okay, in that x1 இருக்குல்ல, so this is my f of x1 and this is my f of x2. So if f of x1 is less than f of x2, the function is said to be increasing. It is increasing like this. When x1 is less than x2 and I have f of x1 is greater than f of x2. இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல f of x1 is greater than f of x2, correct? So in this case, the function is said to be decreasing. So that is what is given here in the definition. You have x1 less than x2, f of x1 less than x2, the function is said to be increasing. Okay, this is first condition. If a second condition enna, f of x1 is greater than f of x2 and x1 is less than x2. So you have two different conditions. When this is decreasing, it is going to be strictly decreasing. Okay, in the இடத்துல equal to sign illalla, so I have strictly decreasing and this is strictly increasing. But when I have an equal to sign, இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல equal to sign தெரியுதா, greater than or equal to, and I also have less than or equal to இங்க option காணோம். So when you have f of x1 less than or equal to f of x2, it is simply decreasing. Okay, not strictly decreasing. Strictly na அர்த்தம் decrease ஆயிட்டே தான் இருக்கு. So basically decreasing na அர்த்தம் it is decreasing. It can be constant for a while, again it will decrease. It can be constant for a while, again it will decrease. But decrease தான ஆகுது. In the end, it is decreasing. Strictly decreasing na direct decrease da agudhu. There is no constant values in between. Okay, so this is the difference between decreasing and strictly decreasing. And for a constant function, what do you have? Constant on I. If f of x equals c, so it is some constant value c. இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல c ன்னு இருக்குனா f of x is going to be c for all x1, x2, x3 என்னவா இருந்தாலும் x1 less than x2. Okay, this is one way of doing it. What is the second way of doing it? Theorem 1 says that இவ்வளோ நேரம் நம்ம derivatives பார்த்தோம். So how to use derivatives to find if the function is increasing or decreasing? So when you have f dash of x is greater than 0, it is increasing. F dash of x is less than 0, it is decreasing. F dash of x is a constant na, it is a constant function. F dash of x is 0 na, it is a constant function. ஏனா அந்த இடத்துல எந்த சேஞ்சுமே இல்ல, கரெக்ட்டா? அதனால f dash of x becomes a 0 because there is no change, it is constant, and differentiating a constant function is going to give you a 0. What is your differentiation? Basically you are talking about the slope here. So that is why you are taking the derivative. The derivative f dash of x is nothing but the slope. Okay, so that is why we find that. இப்போ ரெண்டு மெத்தட்லயும் பண்ணலாம். Example 7. Show that the function given by f of x equals 7x minus 3 is increasing on R. Okay, so according to definition 1. So let me solve it in both the methods. Definition 1, x1 less than x2, f of x1 is less than f of x2 na, the function is increasing. And if I have f of x1 is greater than f of x2, it is decreasing. Okay, so how do I do this? I have x1 less than x2. I'm going to multiply both the sides by 7. எனக்கு என்ன function வேணும்? 7x minus 3 வேணும். I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. So 7x1 and the inequality remains the same. Inequality chapter la பார்த்தோம்ல. So I have 7 times x2. Now I'm going to subtract by minus 3 on both sides. So I have 7x1 minus 3 less than 7x2 minus 3. So this is nothing but my f of x1 and this is my f of x2. So here, so from this, x1 is less than x2. So from here, I have if f of x1 is less than f of x2, then f of x is increasing. Okay, this is according to definition 1. இப்போ theorem 1 use பண்ணி போட போறேன். I'm going to find the derivative. So we have found out that f of x is increasing in the method use பண்ணி. Now I have f of x equals 7x minus 3 இல்லையா? What is my f dash of x? It is going to be 7. When I differentiate this with respect to x, I have f dash of x is 7, which is greater than 0. So from the definition, if f dash of x is greater than 0, then f of x is increasing. நம்ம இந்த மெத்தட் தான் நிறைய யூஸ் பண்ண போறோம். The first method we'll use only when you have to find the value of a அப்படின்னு கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க. Find the value of x அப்படிலாம் கொடுத்திருந்தானா you can use the first method. Otherwise, to check if it is increasing or decreasing, you can simply find the derivative and check if it is increasing. So in this case, it is greater than 0, so it is increasing. If it's less than 0, it is decreasing. Okay? Please copy. Example 8. Show that the function f given by f of x is increasing. இப்போ f of x என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கு? It is x cube minus 3x square plus 4x. I need to find the derivative. So derivative பண்ணா 3x square minus 6x plus 4. So இப்போ இது பார்த்தா I do not know whether this is an increasing function or decreasing function. So what am I going to do? I'm going to complete the square or splitting the middle term or anything you can do. So I have 3 times. I'm taking the 3 outside. I want the coefficient of x square to be 1. So I have x square minus 2x plus 4 divided by 3. So this is what is inside. And I complete the square. I have in the particular function matram eduthitta x square minus 2x plus 4 by 3. I want to write this in terms of a square minus 2ab. I don't know what my b square is. So when I compare, I have a equals x, and when I compare these two, I have 2ab equals 2x. I just found out a equals x, so I have 2xb equals 2x. From this I have b equals 1. So I can add 1 square, subtract 1 square. I already have a constant. Completing the square method punjada. So from these two, I have x square minus 2x plus 1 square minus 1 square plus 4 divided by 3. Okay. So this, from this I can write this as x minus 1 the whole square. This when I solve LCM edutha minus 3 plus 4 divided by 3. So I have 1 divided by 3. இப்போ நான் என்னோட f dash of x எப்படி இருக்கு? f dash of x I can write it as 3 times, and the bracket term I just found it to be x minus 1 the whole square plus 1 divided by 3. So 3 is a positive value. X minus 1 the whole square, any square term is going to be a positive value. So this is greater than 0, this is greater than 0. Plus 1 by 3 is also positive, so this is also greater than 0. So from this I know that f dash of x is going to be greater than 0. Okay, punjada. So I have f dash of x is greater than 0. Therefore, the function that is given in the question f of x is increasing. Punjada. You just have to prove that all the values that are inside is greater than 0. இதுல டைரக்டா நம்மளால கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியாது. So we are finding it in terms of completing the square பண்ணா you'll get some value plus or minus. இல்லையா? So அப்படி பண்ணும்போது you know everything is going to be positive. Okay? Now example 9. Prove that the function given by f of x equals cos x is decreasing, increasing, neither increasing or decreasing, but they have given the intervals. So இந்த interval நம்ம check பண்ணணும். So first I have f of x equals cos x. F dash of x and I need to find the derivative, which is going to be minus sin x. Okay. Now I need to check if it is increasing or decreasing. So first let me draw the sine function. So this is going to be my sine function. So this is 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. Because we are talking about 0 to 2 pi. So இது வரைக்கும் வரைஞ்சா போதும். So sine 0 is going to be 0, and this is my 1. இல்லையா? So sine pi by 2 is going to be 1. So I have this again comes down at pi, this again goes down, in that minus 1, I have 2 pi. So this is my sine function. Correct? Sine 0 is 0, sine pi by 2 is 1, sine pi is again 0, sine 3 pi by 2 is minus 1, sine 2 pi is 0. Okay? So this is my sine function. So from 0 to pi, so 0 to pi interval, how does my sine function look? I see that the sine function or value is in the upper half. So it is over here, correct? It is in the upper half, which means sin x is going to be positive. So I have sin x is greater than 0. Values that are in between 0 and pi, all these values are going to be positive, correct? So sin x is greater than 0. But what is my f dash of x? F dash of x is going to be minus sin x. If sin x is 0, from here if I multiply by minus, I have minus sin x is less than 0. So I have f dash of x is less than 0, which means from 0 to pi, f of x is decreasing. Since the derivative is going to be less than 0, it is going to be decreasing. Now next interval enna? I have pi to 2 pi. So pi to 2 pi. How does my sine function look? Sin x. I see that all my values are negative. Now in that it is all negative. I have values from 0 to minus 1. This is all negative. So sin x is 0. So f dash of x equals minus sin x. When I multiply by minus on both sides, minus sin x less than becomes greater than. So greater than 0. So I have f dash of x is greater than 0. Okay. So this is going to be from pi to 2 pi, f of x is increasing. Okay. Now my last subsection is going to be, I have to say that it's neither increasing nor decreasing in 0 to 2 pi. Now 0 length 2 pi enna agudhu? So from 0 to 2 pi, what do I see? From 0 to pi, it is increasing. From pi to 2 pi, it is decreasing. So basically 0 to pi, it's increasing. Pi to 2 pi, it is decreasing. If for example, you are at your house. Okay. You're going to school. You are going to school and coming back to your house, which means you're still in your house. ஏதாவது நடந்துதா? ஸ்கூலுக்கே போல நம்ம முதல்ல. ஸ்கூலுக்கு போயிட்டு திரும்ப வந்துட்டோம். ஸ்கூலுக்குள்ளேயே போல. Which means if the function is increasing, I'll change the color. If the function is increasing and then decreasing again, you're coming back to the same place. Which means you're still at the same place. So it is neither increasing nor decreasing. Okay. So third subsection, from 0 to 2 pi, since it's coming back to the same place, it's neither increasing nor decreasing. Okay, nor decreasing. So this is from the first two subsections. இப்போ நம்ம கிராஃப்ல பார்த்தாலும் நமக்கு தெரியும். At 0 I was here. So at 0 I was at this place. 2 பைல எங்க இருக்கேன்? திரும்ப 0லயே தான் இருக்கேன். இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல இப்படி இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகி இப்படி டிக்ரீஸ் ஆனதுல என்ன ஆச்சு? I came back to my same place. It is going to be 0 again. So which means the function is neither decreasing nor increasing at 0 to 2 pi. Okay, புரிஞ்சுதா? Please copy. Example 10. Find the intervals in which the function f given by f of x is increasing and decreasing. Now you have to find out the intervals where they are increasing and decreasing. இப்போ நான் என்ன பண்ண போறேன்? I'm given my f of x is going to be x square minus 4x plus 6. I need to find my derivative. This is my first step. So I have 2x minus 4. When I take the 2 common, I have x minus 2. I need to find out if f of x is greater than 0 or if f of x is less than 0, but I need to find out for which values. So find the intervals. இப்போ இதுல எந்த interval it is greater than 0 and which interval it is less than 0. இதுதான் நம்ம கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். So அதுக்கு நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? My first step 1 is going to be, I'm going to put f dash of x equals 0. So I have 2 times x minus 2 equals 0, which means x equals 2. So in my number line, okay, if this is my number line, I have minus infinity plus infinity and in between I have a 2. So I have the interval minus infinity to 2. Minus infinity ki square bracket varadhu. Minus infinity to 2 and 2 to infinity. I have two different intervals. I have to find out where it is increasing and where it is decreasing. So இப்போ first I'm going to have minus infinity to 2 in the interval எடுக்க போறேன். I need to check if f dash of x is increasing or decreasing. இப்போ f dash of x என்ன? It is going to be 2 times x minus 2. When I take some value that is between minus infinity and 2, if I take the value 1, what happens when I substitute? F dash of x becomes 2 times 1 minus 2, which becomes 2 times minus 1. This is a minus value. Correct? So this is less than 0. So in the interval minus infinity to 2, I have f dash of x is less than 0, which means this is decreasing. அதே மாதிரி, now I have 2 to infinity. So here, f dash of x oda value enna? 2, x minus 2. You should not substitute the value 2 itself, but take some value that is near 2. So I can take the value 3. So what happens? 2 times 3 minus 2, which is 2. So and this is greater than 0. So this is minus 2. So this is greater than 0. I have f dash of x is greater than 0. So in the interval, f dash of x is greater than 0, now the function is increasing. So f dash of x is greater than 0, 2 to infinity. So f dash of x is greater than 0, now 2 to infinity. And here I have a circular bracket, and f dash of x is less than 0, now it is from minus infinity to 2. So minus infinity to 2. So how do you write your final answer? Increasing in 2 to infinity and decreasing in minus infinity to 2. So this is how you write your final answer. Okay? Or you can write it in terms of normal bracket also. Square bracket podama, you can write it like this. Okay? So basically here the function is increasing. So in the interval minus infinity to 2 la, the function is decreasing and here the function is increasing. Okay? Please copy. So இந்த மாதிரி தான் நம்ம interval கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். So அந்த வேல்யூல nearest value எதுன்னு substitute பண்ணி increase ஆகுதா decrease ஆகுதா. So this is what you have to see. Okay. So let us solve one more example. You will understand. Find the intervals in which the function is increasing and decreasing. So அதே மாதிரி function கொடுத்திருக்கு. So let us find the derivative first. So I'll write the question. F of x equals 4x cube minus 6x square minus 72x plus 30. Derivative is going to be 12x square minus 6 2s are 12x minus 72. I can take the 12 outside. So I have x square minus x minus 6. So இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல splitting the middle term பண்ணலாம், completing the square பண்ண வேண்டாம். So I have x square minus x minus 6. I need the product to be minus 6 and the sum to be minus 1. So I can do minus 3, 2. So this is going to be x square minus 3x plus 2x minus 6. So I can take x common, x minus 3. Inga x minus 3 venuna, I need a plus 2. When I split the middle term, I have this is going to look like 12 times x plus 2 times x minus 3. What is my next step? F dash of x is 0 nu podnu. So when I put f dash of x equals 0, I have 12 times x plus 2, x minus 3 is 0. So x oda value is minus 2, x oda value is 3. So how does my number look now? So I have minus infinity, infinity, minus 2 and 3. So what are my intervals going to be? I have minus infinity to minus 2. I have minus 2 to 3 and 3 to infinity. So this is my 3 different intervals. Now what is my f dash of x? So if f dash of x is going to be, I'll write this here, 12 times x plus 2 times x minus 3. And here I'm going to check how my f dash of x looks increasing or decreasing on paaka poren. So first interval la let me take the value of minus infinity to minus 2 kulla edha or value. So I'll take minus 3. Okay. So when I substitute it here in the f dash of x, the 12 is a positive value. So it is always going to be positive. When I substitute the value of minus 3 here, I have minus 3 plus 2. So I'm going to get a negative value. Again, in the earthla minus 3 pota, minus 3 is going to be minus 6. So again, this is going to be a negative value. So I basically have the product of all these signs. So in the end, it is going to be plus, which means f dash of x is greater than 0 and the function is increasing. Purjda? Second I'll solve, you'll understand this better. So I have, let me take a value that is in between this. So let me take a value 0, or you can take the value 2, minus 1. When I take the value 0, again the 12 is going to be a plus. When I put 0 here, I have 0 plus 2, which is going to be positive. When I put a 0 here, it is going to be 0 minus 3, which is a minus. So the product of all these signs is going to give me a negative value, which means f dash of x is less than 0 and the function is decreasing. Okay. From 3 to infinity, then again 12 is going to give me a positive value. Then in the earthla 4 substitute panna, 4 plus 2 is going to give me 6, which is positive. Again, when I substitute 4 here, 4 minus 3 is going to give me a positive value. So the product of all these is going to be positive, which means greater than 0, which means increasing. If in the interval increasing, it is going to be minus infinity to minus 2. So minus infinity to minus 2, I'll write it clearly, minus infinity to minus 2 and 3 to infinity, f of x is increasing. F dash of x is increasing and hence f of x is also increasing. Okay. So from minus 2 to 3, it is decreasing. F dash of x is decreasing. And hence f of x is also decreasing. So in the f dash of x, f of x. Okay. Because we have f dash of x is greater than 0 here, and here I have f dash of x is less than 0. So this is called the first derivative test. Okay. Please copy. Example 12. Find the intervals in which the function given by f of x equals sin x is increasing, decreasing, and the interval is given to be 0 to pi by 2. Now I have f of x equals sin 3x. F dash of x is going to be cos 3x times 3. So this is going to be 3 cos 3x. So what is my first step? F dash of x is 0 nu podnu. So I have from this 3 cos 3x equals 0, cos 3x equals 0, which means cos can take the value 3x equals 0, comma pi, sorry, not 0, cos can take the value pi by 2, comma 3 pi by 2, correct? Because cos oda value engala 0 agudhe. So I have this particular graph. I have cos 0 is going to be 1, then cos pi by 2 is again going to be 0, then cos pi is going to be minus 1. Then cos 3 pi by 2 is going to be 0. Correct? So from this I have x oda value enna? X equals divided by 3 panna pi by 6. Sorry, 3 2s are 6, comma 3 pi divided by 6. So in the interval is going to be 0 to pi by 2 in the question. So you have to check if this is between 0 to pi by 2. What is 3 pi divided by 6? So this is nothing but pi divided by 2. So we are talking about x equals pi by 6, comma pi by 2. So how does my number line look? So this is my number line from 0 to pi by 2, and in between I have a value which is pi divided by 6. So what are my intervals now? I have 0 to pi by 6 first interval, and pi by 6 to pi by 2. Pi by 6 to pi by 2 is my second interval, and we are talking about f dash of x, which is cos 3x. So I have cos 3x here, and here I am going to write the symbol. So when I substitute some value which is in between, if pi by 6 na, it is going to be 30 degrees. So when I substitute some value here, I'll draw the cos function for you. So cos oda function eppadi irukku podhu? I have 1 minus 1, and the cos function is going to look something like this. So indha pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2. We are only talking about 0 to pi by 2. Yeah? So how does the interval look like? So 0 to pi by 6 na, the function is going to come from 1 to 0, and then it's going to increase again at pi, and again 3 pi it becomes a 0, and again it goes back. So from 0 to pi by 6. So in the x value pi by 6 kulla irukra edha or value pota, cos of 3 times pi by 6 abdina, we are talking about pi by 2. So pi by 2, 0 to pi by 2, all my values are positive here. You see, so whatever value I take from 0 to pi by 6, this is going to be greater than 0. So f dash of x is going to be greater than 0 because all the values are positive, and hence it is going to be an increasing function. Now second case la, pi by 6 to pi by 2 means we are talking about cos of 3 times. Now I have pi by 2 I have 3 pi by 2. So I am talking about the value here. So inge every value travel agudhu. I see that all my values are negative. So here it is going to be less than 0, which means the function is decreasing. So any value that I put which is in between pi by 6 to pi by 2, look at the graph, it is going to be negative. Any value that I put between 0 to pi by 6, it is going to be positive. So where is my function increasing? 0 to pi by 6, the function is increasing. Okay. So I have f is increasing from 0 to pi by 6, and f is decreasing from pi by 6 to pi by 2. Okay, please copy. Example 13. Find the interval in which the following function is increasing or decreasing. So I have f of x is going to be sin x plus cos x. So f dash of x is going to be sin x, or a derivative is cos x, and cos x or a derivative is minus sin x, and we are talking about the interval 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so first step I'm going to equate it to 0. So f of x is equal to 0 na, I have cos x minus sin x equals 0. So from here I have cos x equals sin x. So cos x oda value, sin x oda value enga same ah irukku. When you draw the table, I have 0, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, root 3 by 2, 1, again 1, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, root 3 by 2, 1 by 2, 0. So here I see that the value is the same at 45 degrees. So I have cos pi by 4 equals sin pi by 4. So basically my x oda value is going to be pi divided by 4, and it lies between 0 to 2 pi. So this is one value. When we are talking about one full rotation, if 0, this is going to be pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. So pi by 4 comes over here. And what is my other value? 180 add panna pi plus pi by 4 gives me 5 pi divided by 4. Okay, so this is one more value. So this is going to be over here, somewhere over here. Okay, this is my pi by 4, and 5 pi by 4 lies somewhere here. So two different values. So how does my number line look now? My number line looks something like this. I'll draw it here. So from 0 to 2 pi. Yeah, so 0 to 2 pi. In between I have pi by 4 and 5 pi divided by 4. So two different values. So what are my intervals now? I have 0 to pi by 4, pi by 4 to 5 pi by 4, then 5 pi by 4 to 2 pi, and what is my f dash of x now? F dash of x is going to be cos x minus sin x. Cos x minus sin x. I need to find out the sign of f dash of x and whether it's increasing or decreasing. Let me draw my cos function and sin function. So I have first cos function. Okay, so here the value is 1, minus 1. I have pi by 4 here and 5 pi by 4 over here. So I have again pi by 4 over here and 5 pi by 4 over here. If 5 pi by 4 anga dhaan vandadhu eppadi theriyum? 4 divided by 5 is going to give me 4 1s are 4, 1, 0, point. 4 2s are 8, 2, 0, 5, 1.25. So 5 by 4 is going to be 1.25. And what is 3 pi by 2? So 3 by 2 panna I have 2 divided by 3, which is going to give me 2 1s are 2, 1, 0, 1.5. So I have 3 by 2 to be 1.5. I know that 5 by 4 is going to be less than 3 by 2. Okay. So this is going to be my cos function and sin function oda graph. Now whatever value I substitute between 0 and pi by 4, I see that the value is going to be positive over here for cos x, and sin x kume the value is going to be positive. Okay, so I have positive minus positive. So when I subtract two positive values, cos oda positive value is greater illaya, in the top near close to 1 irukku, in the earthla close to 0 irukku. So pi plus minus plus, so in the earthla it is a little slightly greater value. So f dash of x is going to be greater than 0, which means it's an increasing function. Adhe madri pi by 4 to 5 pi by 4. So from pi by 4 to 5 pi by 4, I see that the value is slightly positive. Adukapparama it is all negative for cos function. Okay, then for the sin function, I see that it is all going to be positive for a long time and it is going to be negative only for a short while. Slightly negative, ena இந்த இடத்துல positive value விட negative value ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கு. For sin function it is going to be negative. So the negative value is going to be slightly larger. Cos la I have a larger negative value and sin la I have a larger positive value. So here the function is going to be less than 0 ஏனா ரெண்டுமே negative values ஆ இருக்கு. So here the function is going to be decreasing. Okay, so from 5 by 4 to 5 pi by 4, the function is going to be decreasing. இப்போ 5 pi by 4 to 2 pi பார்க்கணும். So for the cos function, I see that it is increasing and the positive value is going to be more. So I have a positive value minus sin க்கு என்ன இருக்கு? Sin function க்கு I always have a negative value. So this is going to be negative, but I see that the cos value is more positive than the sin value. So again, this is going to be greater than 0. Hence, the function is going to be increasing. So where all the function is increasing, it is from the interval 0 to pi by 4 and 5 pi by 4 to 2 pi, f is increasing. Okay, and what is the other interval? Pi by 4 to 5 pi by 4, I see that f is decreasing. Okay, this is how you solve for cos and sin function. இது நமக்கு இந்த graph போடாமே இன்னும் நிறைய sums போட தெரிஞ்சிரும், but this I explained for you to understand it better. Okay, so with this we are done with the example questions. Let's move on to exercise questions. Finished solving example questions. Now moving on to exercise 6.2. Examples போய் பாருங்க. அதுல ஒரு சில last example number 12, 13 லாம் கொஞ்சம் யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது. எக்ஸாம்ல அந்த மாதிரி questions வரும். So please watch it. I'll also solve the exercise questions. Okay. Show that the function given by f of x equals 3x plus 17. இந்த இடத்துல ரெண்டு பார்த்தோம். Definition 1 ஒன்னு பார்த்தோம். இன்னொன்னு the derivative function வச்சு எப்படி increasing decreasing கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுன்னு பார்த்தோம். I'll solve it in both ways for the first question. Second questionல இருந்து ஒரே ஒரு method தான் போட போறேன். Okay. So now method number 1. When I have x1 is less than x2, if f of x1 is less than f of x2, I know that the function is increasing. And when f of x1 is greater than f of x2, I know that the function is decreasing. இப்போ ஒரு graph இருக்கு அப்படின்னா the function is increasing, which means f of x1 is going to be less than f of x2. Secondக்கு when the function is decreasing, I have f of x1 to be greater than f of x2. இதுதான் meaning. Okay, so இதுல நமக்கு எதுன்னு நம்ம பார்க்க போறோம். So I have x1 less than x2. So my function is 3x plus 17. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3x. So 3x1, my inequality remains unchanged. So less than 3x2. When I add plus 17 on both sides, so I have 3x plus 17. Again, inequality remains unchanged. 3x2 plus 17. So this is basically my f of x1 and less than this is my f of x2. So from this, I see that f is increasing. Okay, according to the definition I just explained. So in the method வந்து நம்ம mostly இப்போ 3a plus 12 அப்படின்லாம் கொடுத்திருக்காங்கன்னா find the value of a அப்படி கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா you can use this method, or if the function is increasing decreasing னு பார்த்தா you can use the theorem 1 which I am going to solve now. So second method, if I have f dash of x is greater than 0, the function is increasing, and f dash of x is less than 0, the function is decreasing. Okay, so I'm going to find the derivative now. What is my f of x? 3x plus 17. So f of x equals 3x plus 17. I have f dash of x. When I differentiate, it is going to be 3. And I see that 3 is a value that is greater than 0. So from this, I have f dash of x is greater than 0, which means the function is increasing. So this is a much easier method to do, but another variable find a அந்த மாதிரிலாம் கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா first method use பண்ணுங்க. Okay, I have show that the function given by f of x equals e to the 2x is increasing on R. So when I differentiate, I have f dash of x equals e to the 2x times 2. So I have 2 e to the 2x, and I know that the exponential function is always increasing. So this is definitely greater than 0. So I have f is increasing. Okay, the first method la podnuna eppadi poduvom? x1 less than x2 all the time. ஏன்னா first coordinate is always less than x2. correct? இந்த இடத்துல x1 இருக்கு, இந்த இடத்துல x2 இருக்கு. You see here, the first x1 value is right here, x2 value is over here. So obviously x1 is less than x2. So I have, when I multiply by 2, I have 2x1 less than 2x2. When I raise the exponent, I have e to the 2x1 less than e to the 2x2. I have f of x1 less than f of x2, which means f is increasing. So in the method la potalum, you are going to get the same value. Okay, so the function is increasing. Please copy. Question number 3. Show that the function given by f of x equals sin x is increasing. So first நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? f dash of x கண்டுபிடிக்க போறோம், which is going to be cos x. So let me draw the graph for you for cos x to make you understand better. So 1 minus 1, what all values I'm going to put? Pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. And how does my graph look for cos? 0 ku 1 இல்லையா, pi by 2 ku 0. So this is how the value looks. Pi ki minus 1, 3 pi by 2 is a 0, 2 pi again is going to be a 1. Okay, now I'm going to look at the intervals 0 to pi by 2. So 0 to pi by 2, how does it look? And pi by 2 to pi, how it's going to look? So I have my f dash of x to be cos x. I'm going to check whether it's increasing or decreasing. So 0 to pi by 2, I see that the cos values are all positive. Correct? Mala first upper half la irukku, so it is going to be positive. So it is greater than 0, increasing. Ipo pi by 2 to pi eppadi irukku? I see that all the values are in the bottom half. So ella value me negative until pi. So it is going to be negative less than 0, which means it is decreasing. So subsection A, from 0 to pi by 2, f is increasing. F is increasing. And from pi by 2 to pi, it is decreasing. Now third subsection enna? I have to show that from 0 to pi, it is neither increasing nor decreasing. Now 0 to pi enna agudhu? All the values are positive from 0 to pi by 2. And from pi by 2 to pi, all the values are negative. So basically positive ave irundittu marudiyum adhe alavu negative ah irundha, it is going equivalent to nothing. So basically you start at a point 1 and you end at a point minus 1. So basically it is going to be 1 no minus 1 no senduduna, it is nothing. You added 1 and subtracted 1. Basically if you are at point A and you are going to point B and you are coming back to point A. So it is like going from A to B and coming back from B to A. Increasing from A to B, decreasing from B to A. You are coming back to the same point A. So from 0 to pi, according to first and the second subsection, from 0 to pi, it's neither increasing nor decreasing. இந்த மாதிரி ப்ரூவ் பண்ணா போதும். ஓகே, half வேல்யூல இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகுது, இல்ல டிக்ரீஸும் ஆகுது அப்படின்னா மொத்தத்துல இன்க்ரீஸும் ஆகல டிக்ரீஸும் ஆகல. ஸோ நெய்தர் இன்க்ரீசிங் நார் டிக்ரீசிங். ஓகே, கொஸ்டின் நம்பர் 4. Find the intervals in which the function f given by f of x equals 2x square minus 3x is increasing, decreasing. எந்த இன்டர்வல்ல இன்க்ரீசிங், எந்த இன்டர்வல்ல டிக்ரீசிங். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் let me find the derivative. So I have f dash of x equals, first f of x எழுதிக்கிறேன். So f of x is going to be 2x square minus 3x. So f dash of x equals 4x minus 3. So first step enna, I need to find out f dash of x equals 0. This is called the critical point. Okay, so when I do this, I have 4x minus 3 equals 0. X equals 3 divided by 4. So in my number line, so I have a number line from minus infinity to infinity. I have some point 3 divided by 4. So I need to see how the function behaves from minus infinity to 3 by 4. அதாவது in the particular interval. So basically I have to see how my function behaves from minus infinity to 3 by 4 and from 3 by 4 to infinity. So 3 by 4 to infinity. I have to check how my f dash of x behaves, which is in our case 4x minus 3. I have to check if it is increasing or decreasing. So this is how my tabular column looks like. Okay. So now minus infinity to 3 by 4. So if I am going to put some value that is between minus infinity to 3 by 4. If for example, na 0 substitute பண்றேன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க. So what does your f dash of x look like? So I have 4 times 0 minus 3. So the function is going to be negative, which means f dash of x is less than 0 and the function is going to be decreasing. Since f dash of x is less than 0, it is going to be decreasing. இப்போ 3 by 4 to infinity. So I can put some value 2. Correct? So I have 4 times 2 minus 3. So this is going to be a positive value. So greater than 0, which means f dash of x is increasing. My final answer is going to be f is increasing in 3 by 4 to infinity and my function is decreasing from minus infinity to 3 divided by 4. So this is how you check. First critical point enna eppadi kandupidipom? You have to equate your f dash of x to 0 and you find what your critical point is, and after that you have to see in which interval the function is increasing and decreasing using the first derivative test. F dash of x greater than 0 na increasing, less than 0 na decreasing. Okay. Question number 5. Find the intervals in which the following function is increasing or decreasing. So let's start solving. So I have f of x equals 2x cube minus 3x square minus 36x plus 7. So f dash of x is going to be 6x square minus 6x minus 36. When I take the 6 common, x square minus x minus 6. So it was splitting the middle term. So this I need to get the product to be minus 6 and sum to be minus 1. So minus 3, 2. So I can write this as 6 times x square minus 2x minus 3x minus 6. When I take the x common, I have x times x minus 2. Inge x minus 2 venuna, I need a minus 3 here. So I have 6 times x minus 3 times x minus 2. So from this is my f dash of x. So when I equate this to 0, I have x equals 3 and x equals 2. So how does my number line look now? Minus infinity to infinity, the value 2 and the value 3. Okay. Sorry, please pay attention. I have minus 3x plus 2x. So I have x plus 2. So in the x plus 2 venuna, I need a minus 3. Now this is going to be x plus 2 times x minus 3. So my value is going to be x minus 2. So it is going to be minus 2 and 3. Okay. Please pay attention to the sign. In the mari mistake pannama irkanona, please solve it. Oru thara solve pannittu marudiyum check pannunga. Okay. So my intervals are going to be minus infinity to minus 2, minus 2 to 3 and 3 to infinity. And what are we going to check it with? F dash of x, which is x minus 3 times x plus 2. I have to check if f dash of x is less than 0 or greater than 0 in this tabular column. So this is how it's going to look. Now, when I substitute the value, minus infinity to minus 2, I can take some value minus 3, which is close to minus 2. So in the value edutha, when I substitute, what happens? I have 6 times. Ipo x minus 3, I am substituting minus 3. So minus 3, minus 3, minus 3 plus 2. So how does my function look? I have plus 6 plus minus 3, I'll write to the next step. I have plus here. If this is going to be a minus and this is going to be a minus, the product of this is going to give me a positive value which is greater than 0. Okay, இப்போ அதே மாதிரி minus 2, minus 3. I can substitute the value 0 இல்லையா? So இப்போ 6க்கு I'll have a positive value. Then x minus 3, இந்த இடத்துல 0 substitute பண்ணா I'll have a negative value. இங்க 0 substitute பண்ணா I'll have a positive value. So overall plus minus plus, I have a negative value. So this is less than 0. Now 3 to infinity, I can substitute the value 4. So when I do that, 6 is going to be positive. 3, my x minus 3 na 4 minus 3 is going to be a positive value. 4 plus 2 is also going to be positive. So this is going to be positive. So it's an increasing function. So engala function increasing irukku, minus infinity to minus 2, comma 3, comma infinity. I see that f is increasing because f dash of x is greater than 0. Adhe madri minus 2, comma 3, I see that f is decreasing. Okay. Please copy. So sum வந்து correct values என்னென்ன intervals in correct போட்டுட்டீங்கன்னா you can solve it. Okay. Now question number 6. So let us solve this quickly. So I have first subsection f of x equals x square plus 2x minus 5. F dash of x equals, when I differentiate, I have 2x plus 2. From this 2 a common adutha, I have x plus 1. So I need to equate this to 0. So I have 2 times x plus 1 equals 0. So x equals minus 1. So this is my critical point. So number line la I have minus infinity, minus 1 and infinity. Now I have to check the intervals minus infinity to minus 1. This particular interval and this particular interval. So minus infinity to minus 1. Minus 1 and minus 1 to infinity. So idhila eppadi irukku paakano. What is my f dash of x? It is going to be 2 times x plus 1. Whether it is increasing or decreasing, you have to check here. So this is going to be, the sign is going to be 2 positive. And I substitute the value, something that is between minus infinity and minus 1, I can substitute minus 2. So minus 2 plus 1 is going to give me a negative value. So positive negative is going to be negative, which is less than 0. In that I can substitute the value 0. So I have positive, 0 plus 1 is also going to be positive. So overall I have a positive value which is greater than 0. So I see that the function is increasing in minus 1 to infinity. Enga greater irukko anga da function increasing, and f is decreasing in the interval minus infinity to minus 1. Okay, so basically the number line la eppadi irukku, minus infinity to minus 1 the function is decreasing, 1 to infinity the function is increasing. Okay, so this is what we have. Now subsection B. Okay, so I have f of x equals 10 minus 6x minus 2x square. When I differentiate, I have 0 minus 6 minus 4x. This is going to be minus 2 a common veliyil edutha, I have 3 plus 2x. When I equate f dash of x to 0, I have minus 2 times 3 plus 2x equals 0. 3 plus 2x equals 0. X equals minus 3 divided by 2. So how does my number line look like now? I have the number line minus infinity to infinity. In between I have a minus 3 divided by 2. Now which all intervals do I check? Minus infinity to minus 3 by 2. So minus infinity to minus 3 by 2 is my first interval. Second interval is going to be minus 3 by 2 to infinity. And what is my f dash of x? It is going to be minus 2 into 3 plus 2x. And I need to check for the sign. In the column la sign check panna porom. In the column la greater than or less than 0 one check panna porom. Now when I substitute some value that is in between this, I can maybe substitute minus 2. Correct? Minus 3 by 2 and 1.5. Yeah. So I can substitute the value of minus 2. When I do that, for minus 2, it is going to be a minus sign. The minus sign is always going to be there. If in the x ku minus 2 substitute panna, what will I have? 3 plus 2 into minus 2 is going to be minus 4. So the value is going to be negative. Negative and negative is going to be positive, which means it's greater than 0. Okay. Now, from in this interval, I can maybe substitute the value 0. So I'm going to have negative is always going to be there because minus 2. 3 plus 2 into 0, which is going to be a positive value. So minus into plus is going to be negative, which is less than 0. So in which interval is it increasing? It is going to be increasing in the first interval. So f is increasing in minus infinity to minus 3 by 2. And f is decreasing in minus 3 by 2 to infinity. Okay, please copy. Subsection C. I have f of x equals minus 2x cube minus 9x square minus 12x plus 1. So when I differentiate, I have f dash of x is going to be minus 6x square minus 18x minus 12. So when I take the minus outside, I have minus 6 veliyil eduthilla. So I have 6 times x square plus 3x plus 2. When I split the middle term, I have in the function, so 2, I need 3. So I have 2 ones are. So inside the bracket, when I use the splitting the middle term, equals minus 6 times x square plus x plus 2x plus 2. So this is going to be minus 6 times x square. X a common veliyil edutha, I have x plus 1. X plus 1 venuna, I need to do plus 2. So this is going to be minus 6 times x plus 1 into x plus 2. When I equate f dash of x to 0, I'll have minus 6 times x plus 1 into x plus 2 equals 0. So x takes the value minus 1 and minus 2. So in my number line, I have minus infinity to infinity. In between, I have minus 2 and minus 1. Remember, minus 2 comes before minus 1. Enna annal da number line நம்ம எழுதுறோம். Direct ave போட்டிங்கனா confuse ஆயிடும். So what are my intervals going to be? I have minus infinity to minus 2, then minus 2 to minus 1, minus 1 to infinity. And my f dash of x is going to be minus 6 times x plus 1 times x plus 2. And I need to find out whether it's increasing or decreasing. Okay. Now first interval, minus infinity to minus 2, I can substitute the value minus 3. So minus 6 now, the minus is always going to be there. Minus 3 plus 1, which is going to be minus 2. So this is also going to be minus. Minus 3 plus 2, again this is going to be minus. Ilya? So again a minus. So minus minus plus, plus into minus is going to be a minus. So negative. So it is less than 0. So it is a decreasing function. But minus 2 to minus 1. So I can substitute the value minus half. Ilya, minus half illa minus 3 by 2. I can substitute minus 3 by 2. So what do I have? This becomes a minus. Minus 3 by 2 plus 1 is going to be a negative value. Minus 3 by 2 plus 2 is going to be a positive value. Okay, please calculate. Minus 3 by 2 plus 1 na enna varum? Minus 1.5 plus 1, which is minus 0.5. So minus 3 by 2 na minus 1.5 plus 2 is going to give me plus 0.5. So plus. So this is going to be a positive value, which means greater than 0, which means the function is increasing. Adhe madri minus 1 to infinity. So I can substitute the value 0. So minus 6 ke I have negative value. 0 plus 1 is going to be positive. 0 plus 2 is also going to be positive. So in total, it is going to be negative, which is less than 0. And hence it's a decreasing function. So function engala increasing, f is increasing in minus 2 comma minus 1, and f is decreasing in minus infinity to minus 2 comma minus 1 to infinity. So this is where the function is decreasing. Okay, please copy. Subsection D, f of x equals 6 minus 9x minus x square. So when I differentiate, I have 0, minus 9, minus 2x. So when I take the minus outside, I have minus times 9 plus 2x. Next step in f dash of x equals 0. From this, I have minus of 9 plus 2x equals 0. X equals minus 9 divided by 2. So in my number line, minus infinity, minus 9 by 2 and infinity. So what are my intervals going to be? Minus infinity to minus 9 by 2. This is one interval. Other interval enna? Minus 9 by 2 to infinity. And what is my f dash of x? It's going to be minus 9 plus 2x, and I need to find whether it's increasing or decreasing. Now, minus infinity to minus 9 by 2. Minus 9 by 2 na enna? The value is minus 4.5. So, adha vida jastiya or value ettukano. So, I'm going to take the value 5. Okay, so this minus is going to give me a minus, and the second term 9 plus 2x, I'm going to take the value minus 5. So I have 9 plus 2 into minus 5 is going to be minus 10. 9 minus 10 is going to be again negative. So the plus minus into minus is going to give me a plus, which is greater than 0, which means the function is increasing. Adhe mari in the edathila I can take the value 0. If greater than nale takku nama 0 eduthalam. So I have minus times 2 into 0 is going to be 0. This is going to give me a positive value. So this is negative, less than 0. The function is decreasing. So I have f is increasing in minus infinity to minus 9 by 2, and f is decreasing in minus 9 by 2 to infinity. Okay, please copy. Subsection E. I have f of x equals x plus 1 the whole cube, x minus 3 the whole cube. When I differentiate, this is going to be rendu function irukku. So vu dash plus uv dash. Yeah. So when I do that, I have vu dash plus uv dash. So x plus 1 the whole cube times d by dx of x minus 3 the whole cube plus vu dash, which is going to be x minus 3 the whole cube d by dx of x plus 1 the whole cube. So this is going to be x plus 1 the whole cube times, this becomes 3 times x minus 3 the whole square times 1. X minus 3 function irukku, adha differentiate panna 1. Plus what is this going to be? X minus 3 the whole cube times 3 times x plus 1 the whole square. The power gets reduced by 1. Ipo idhula edha common edukala? I can take 3 outside. I can take x plus 1 the whole square outside and x minus 3 the whole square outside. What will be left inside? I'll have x plus 1 from the first term, and from this I'll have x minus 3. Okay, so this is going to be 3 times x plus 1 the whole square, x minus 3 the whole square, bracket kulla I have 2x minus 2. I can take the 2 outside, so I'll be left with 3 2s are 6. 2 velila common adutha 3 and 2 6 aidum. X plus 1 the whole square, x minus 3 the whole square, x minus 1. 2 a common adutha, I'll have x minus 1. So what are my values now? When I substitute f dash of x to 0, I'll have x to be minus 1, 3, minus 3 kadayadu. I'll have x values to be minus 1, 3 and 1. So these are my values. Ipa number line varaya poren. So my number line is going to be minus infinity to infinity. I'll have minus 1, 1, 3. So this is going to be the order. So how does my tabular column look now? I have minus infinity to minus 1 first interval. Second interval is going to be minus 1 to 1. Then I have 1 to 3. Then 3 to infinity. And my function is going to be 6 times x plus 1 the whole square, x minus 3 the whole square, x minus 1 and my f dash of x. Now in that I see that this is a square term. So ulla negative value vandalo it is going to be positive. This is also a square term. So ulla negative value vandalume it is going to be positive. So from 6 I have positive, x plus 1 the whole square positive, x minus 3 the whole square positive. Now in the term enna check pannu. So for the first interval I have minus infinity to minus 1. When I substitute the value of minus 2, okay, for example, I'll have when I substitute minus 2 here, minus 2 minus 1 is going to be negative. So overall, I'm going to have a negative value, which means it's going to be less than 0. The function is decreasing. The first 3 terms are going to be positive because it's a square term and a positive term. The last term is going to be when I substitute the value 0, I'll have 0 minus 1, which is again going to be negative. So negative, less than 0, decreasing. Okay. Now from 1 to 3, let me substitute the value 2. So I have positive, positive, positive. If the last term enna agum 2 minus 1 is going to be positive. So this is going to be positive, greater than 0, increasing. Now when I substitute the value 4, positive, 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 and the last value is also going to be positive. 4 minus 1 is going to be positive. So overall positive, increasing function. So if a function engala increasing, function is increasing from, I can directly write 1 to infinity. 1 to 3, 3 to infinity is going to be 1 to infinity. 1 to 3 and 3 to infinity is going to be 1 to infinity from the number line. Again, f is decreasing. Engala decreasing from minus infinity to 1. From minus infinity to minus 1, 1 to 1. Okay. Please copy. Question number 7. Show that y equals log of 1 plus x minus 2x by 2 plus x, where x is greater than minus 1. In the interval, you have to see that this is an increasing function. Okay, they've already given the interval. So the interval is given, you have to show that the function is increasing. So I have y, which is going to be my f of x. So I have f of x equals log of 1 plus x minus 2x divided by 2 plus x. When I differentiate, f dash of x is going to be log x, or a derivative is going to be 1 divided by x, which is in this case 1 plus x, and the function is going to be 1 plus x. So x or a derivative is going to be 1. So it doesn't matter. So 1 by 1 plus x is my first term. If a second term, this is of the form u by v. Enna formula theriyum? vu dash minus uv dash divided by v square. So let me do that. I'll open a bracket. Minus irukkiradhanaala I'm opening a bracket. vu dash, which is the denominator, times d by dx of 2x minus uv dash. So 2x times d by dx. d by dx of 2 plus x divided by denominator square. So 2 plus x the whole square. So let me solve this term first. Let me have this aside for a while. Okay. So this solve panna I have 2 plus x. d by dx of 2x is going to be 2 minus 2x times d by dx of 2 plus x is going to be 1 divided by 2 plus x the whole square. This is going to be, I have 4 plus 2x minus 2x divided by 2 plus x the whole square, which is going to be 2x cancel I know. So I have 4 divided by 2 plus x the whole square. So how does my f dash of x look now? So f dash of x is going to be 1 by 1 plus x minus 4 divided by 2 plus x the whole square. When I take the LCM, I have 2 plus x the whole square minus 4 times x plus 1 divided by 1 plus x times 2 plus x the whole square. So when I open the bracket, a plus b the whole square. So 2 square is 4 plus b square plus 2ab. 2 into 2. So 4x minus, when I open the bracket, minus 4x minus 4 divided by 1 plus x times 2 plus x the whole square. So here the 4x and the minus 4x get cancelled. 4 and minus 4 gets cancelled. So I'll be left with x square divided by 1 plus x and 2 plus x the whole square. Now, they've given in the question that I have to prove it's an increasing function in the interval x greater than -1. So, if x greater than -1 na, in the number line we are talking about minus infinity to infinity -1. So, we are talking about this particular interval. So, from -1 to infinity, I have to check my f dash of x. So, this is going to be x square divided by 1 plus x times 2 plus x the whole square. I have to check for the sign. So when I substitute some value that is in between this, so I have substitute 0. Abdi pota 0 vandam. And numerator like square irukku. I'll put the value 1. Okay. So basically in the numerator, it is a square term. So it is going to be positive. Divided by, in the 2 plus x the whole square is also a square term. So it is always going to be positive. Now what about 1 plus x? 1 substitute panna 1 plus 1 is going to be 2, which is also positive. So from this overall it is going to be positive, greater than 0, and hence it's an increasing function. Okay. So we have showed that x greater than -1 la f is increasing. Okay. Please copy. Question number 8. Find the values of x for which in the enna value of x ku the function is going to be increasing nu kekran. So same steps da. You have to find the interval and show which is going to be the interval for which the function is increasing. Okay. So ipo y equals kuduthirukkan. So f of x equals x times x minus 2 the whole square. I'll multiply what is inside for simplicity. So I have x square minus 2x the whole square. F dash of x is going to be 2 times x square minus 2x power 1, and what is inside d by dx of this particular term, which is going to be 2x minus 2. Punjda? This is going to be a chain process. Chain rule enna paathom, differentiation la first pannone ulla irukra function iyum thirumba differentiate pannanom. So what will I be left with? 2 times x into x minus 2. Now I am opening it. Times inge 2 common edutha I'll have x minus 1. When I club this 2 and this 2, I'll be left with 4 times x into x minus 2 into x minus 1. இதை எப்படி எழுதலாம்? 4x times x minus 2 into x minus 1. So when I equate f dash of x to 0, I'll have x equals 0, x equals 2, x equals 1. Number line, I'm going to have the values from minus infinity to infinity. நடுவுல என்ன இருக்க போகுது? 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so what are my intervals going to be? It is going to be from minus infinity to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to infinity. And my function is going to be 4x times x minus 2 times x minus 1. And I need to check if it's increasing or decreasing. Now, when I take a value that's in between this, I can take minus 1. Okay, when the 4 it is going to be positive. Times x substitute panna pora, it is going to be minus 1. So minus 1 minus 2 is going to be again minus 1 is going to be minus. So overall enna varudhu? This gives me a plus, and again I have a minus. So this is going to be negative, less than 0, decreasing. So this is not the interval we are looking for. Question la enna kekranga? It is an increasing function. Endha interval kekranga? So first interval is not for us. Next 0 to 1. So I can substitute the value half, which is in between them. So 4 it is going to be plus. Half is a positive value. Half minus 2 is going to be a negative value. Half minus 1 is going to be minus half, which is negative. So this is overall going to be positive, which is greater than 0. Hence, it is an increasing function. So this is the interval that we are looking for. இப்போ அடுத்தது, you have to check everything. ஒன்னே ஒன்னு கடச்ச உடனே விட்டுறக்கூடாது. இப்போ 1 to 2 na I can check for 1.5, which is 3 divided by 2. இப்போ 3 by 2 போட்டா 4 positive, 3 by 2 positive, 3 by 2 minus 2, which is 1.5 minus 2 is a negative value. Times 3 by 2 na 1.5 minus 1 gives me a positive value 0.5. So this is going to be positive. Okay. So overall I'll have a negative, which is less than 0, decreasing, not for us. Now 2 to infinity, I'm going to substitute 3. So positive, x is going to be positive. In that 3 substitute panna, 3 minus 2 is going to be positive. Again 3 substitute panna, 3 minus 1 is going to be positive. So this is positive, greater than 0, increasing. So this is the interval we are looking for. So in the interval, the function is increasing. F is increasing in an interval 0 to 1 and 2 to infinity. So how do you write the values? You can write x to be 0 to 1 and x greater than 2. So this is what they are asking in the question. Equal to is also a case. So in that equal to potalo, it satisfies the equation. Okay, please copy. Question number 9. Prove that 4 sin theta divided by 2 plus cos theta minus theta. இந்த இடத்துல ஒரு minus theta இருக்கு. Question carefully பாருங்க. is an increasing function of theta in 0 to pi by 2. Interval என்னன்னு கொடுத்துட்டா அது increasing னு நம்ம prove பண்ணணும். Okay. So I have y equals, so f dash of x equals v u dash minus uv dash divided by v square. இல்லையா? So when I do that, I have v u dash, this is my u, this is my v. So v u dash, which is d by d theta of, in the இடத்துல we are differentiating with respect to theta. Okay, in the இடத்துல theta. So d by d theta of 4 sin theta minus, I'll erase this. So I have minus u v dash, which is 4 sin theta t by d theta of 2 plus cos theta. Denominator la enna the whole divided by v square. So 2 plus cos theta the whole square. Yes, d by d theta of theta is going to be 1. Okay, so when I solve this, I have 2 plus cos theta times 4 is a constant, sin theta or derivative is going to be cos theta minus 4 sin theta, d by d theta of 2 plus cos theta is going to be minus sin theta divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square minus 1. Don't forget the minus 1. When I multiply this inside, I have 8 cos theta plus 4 cos square theta plus in the minus 1 plus side. Correct? So I have 4 sin square theta minus, when I take the LCM, I have 2 plus cos theta the whole square, the whole divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square. So now this is going to be 4 a common adutha, I have cos square theta plus sin square theta, which is going to be 1. So when I write that, I have 8 cos theta plus 4 times 1 cos square theta plus sin square theta minus, when I open this bracket, a plus b the whole square. So a square plus b square plus 4ab. So 2ab, which is 2 into 2, 4 times cos theta the whole divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square. So when I open the minus, I have 8 cos theta plus 4 minus 4 minus cos square theta minus 4 cos theta the whole divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square. 4 and the 4 gets cancelled. So I have minus cos square theta plus 4 cos theta divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square. Numerator la cos theta common adutha, I have 4 minus cos theta divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square. Now denominator is always going to be positive, so the denominator is always greater than 0. Now numerator check panano, and what is the interval? 0 to pi by 2. So from 0 to pi by 2, I have to check for cos theta times 4 minus cos theta. Now cos oda value every increase agum. I know that from 0, let me draw the graph. So cos oda value is going to go something like this. And here the value is going to be pi divided by 2. So from 0 to pi by 2, I see that all the values are positive. Okay, and it is going to be between 0 and 1. Illaya adavada taandi poporadhu kediyadhu. So here I see that this is going to be positive, and in the earthlyme the value of cos theta is between 0 and 1. So it is going to be positive again. So I see that overall it is going to be positive, which means it's greater than 0. What is greater than 0? F dash of x is greater than 0. Ipo namu kandupidichadhu enna? F dash of theta. So you have f dash of theta is greater than 0, which means f is increasing. The given function is increasing in interval 0 to pi divided by 2. Okay, please copy. Question number 10. Prove that the logarithmic function is increasing on 0 to infinity. So it is given that f of x is going to be some log function. So f dash of x and it is going to be 1 divided by x. It's going to be 0 to infinity. If 0 to infinity, how does my f dash of x function look? 1 by x na, the value is going to be between 0 and infinity. When I take a value of 1, it is going to be 1 by 1. If 2 edutha 1 by 2. So it is always going to be positive, which means f dash of x is greater than 0. So the final answer is going to be f is increasing. Number f enna, it is going to be the log function. So log function is increasing from 0 to infinity. Avladha the answer. Okay, please copy. Question number 11. Prove that the function is neither strictly increasing nor decreasing between minus 1 and 1. Interval avangale kuduttaanga. So I have f of x equals x square minus x minus 1. When I differentiate, I have 2x minus 1. So what is my next step? Critical point. So f dash of x is 0 pota. I have 2x minus 1 equals 0. X equals 1 divided by 2. Now, what is my interval going to be? Minus 1 to 1. So, minus infinity to infinity illama, it is going to be minus 1 to 1. And I have a half in between. So, I need to check for the following interval. So, minus 1 to half. Half to 1. And what is my f dash of x? It is going to be 2x minus 1. And I need to see if it's increasing or decreasing. So, if minus 1 to half, it is going to be, substitute some value 0. So, I have 0 pota, it is going to be negative, which is in total negative, less than 0, so it is decreasing. Half to 1, so in that value, if I put some value which is to be 0, half is going to be 0.5. So if I put 0.75, I have 2 into 0.75, which is some positive value greater than 1, correct? It is going to be 75 now, it is going to be 1.5. So 1.5 minus 1, it is going to be a positive value. So positive greater than 0, so increasing. So it is going to be decreasing here and it is going to be increasing here. So since it's increasing and decreasing, the function is neither increasing nor decreasing. F is neither increasing nor decreasing in minus 1 and 1. Okay, please copy. Question number 12. Which of the following functions are decreasing on 0 and pi by 2? So, இப்போ நம்ம எல்லாத்துக்குமே f dash of x கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். So, I have f dash of x for the first case is going to be minus sin x. And for this, it's going to be minus sin 2x times 2. For this, it's going to be minus sin 3x times 3. For this, it's going to be secant square x. So, இப்போ first case, I'm going to draw the graph for you. So, I have pi by 2. Pi 3 pi is pi by 2 வரைக்கும் தான் கேக்குறான். So pi by 2 வேண்டாம். Okay, let me not draw this. I'll draw till pi. Okay, 0 to pi வரைக்கும்னா sin function எப்படி இருக்கும்? This is going to be 1. So sin 0 is 0, sin pi by 2 is 1, sin pi is again 0. Okay, now I'm talking about sin function from 0 to pi. So the values are all going to be positive, but sin x is only positive. So sin x is greater than 0 from pi by 2, but f dash of x is going to be minus sin x, which is going to be less than 0. So this is going to be a decreasing function. So option A is correct. Okay, இப்போ second case. B equals minus sin 2x times 2. இப்போ sin 2x times 2 na, I have to equate the function to 0. So f dash of x equals minus 2 sin 2x. When I equate this to 0, I have sin 2x equals 0. Sin என்னென்ன value la எடுக்கும்? It is going to be 2x can take the values 0 and pi, correct? So when x equals 0, pi divided by 2. So these are the two different values. I just told you that the sin function has all positive values, but in the இடத்துல minus 2 இருக்கு. So I see that f dash of x is going to be less than 0 because it is minus 2 sin 2x, and hence this is also a decreasing function. So cos 2x is also the right option. Subsection 3. So I have f dash of x equals minus 3 sin 3x. So if this is the case, when I equate, I have 3x equals enna value 0, pi. So x takes the values 0, pi divided by 3. So when I talk about the number line, I have 0 to pi by 2, and in between I have pi divided by 3. Correct? Now from 0 to pi by 3, I have to see how the function behaves. So 0 to pi by 3 and pi by 3 to pi by 2. I have to check how my minus 3 sin 3x behaves. So put the value, for example, in the pi by 3 podum. Okay, so when I have a pi by 3, let me put the value pi by 3. So here what will I have? 3 sin 3 times pi by 3 is going to be sin pi. So ipo nama pi varaikum paakrom. So I have the value is going to be increasing until pi divided by 3. It will be a positive value, but here notice that I have a negative sign. So it is going to be negative, less than 0, and hence the function is decreasing. Ipo second ku nama enna paaka porom? I again have minus 3 sin 3x. So when I substitute, for example, this particular value, I have 3 pi by 2. If 3 pi by 2 varaikum eppadi irukku function, I see that I have a arc here, and from I'm talking about pi by 3 to pi by 2, but my angle is 3x here. So I have to check from pi to 3 pi by 2. Pi to 3 pi by 2, I see that all my values are in the bottom half, which is going to be negative. But in the இடத்துல ஒரு negative sign already இருக்கு. So it is going to be negative times negative, which in total is going to be positive, which is greater than 0, increasing. So I basically see that from 0 to pi by 3, the value is decreasing, and pi by 3 to pi by 2, the value is increasing. So we see that f is neither increasing nor decreasing. So இப்படி தான் value எழுதணும். Okay, so 0 to pi by 3 it is going to be a decreasing function and pi by 3 to pi by 2 it is going to be increasing. So ரெண்டுமே நடக்கிறதுனால it is going to be neither increasing nor decreasing. Okay, now option D. I have f dash of x equals secant square. Yeah, we found the f dash of x. So I have secant square x. So secant square x is basically going to be 1 by cos square. So 1 by cos square x. I know that the cos function is going to be in the interval 0 to pi by 2. So 0 to pi by 2 la cos function எப்படி இருக்கும்? Pi by 2, pi 1 minus 1. So the cos function is going to be 1. Pi by 2 la 0. Again pi la minus 1. 3 pi by 2. Again 3 pi by 2 la 0. Again pi 2 pi la it is going to be 1 and so on. So basically we are talking about the interval pi by 2. So 0 to pi by 2 la cos function எப்படி இருக்கு? It is going to be positive. So I have 1 divided by some positive quantity which is always greater than 0 and hence increasing. So I have the secant square x to be increasing. So f dash of x is greater than 0. F is increasing. Okay. So my answer is going to be option A and option B, which is f is decreasing. Okay. In the interval given in the question 0 to pi divided by 2. So option C and D not for us. Neither increasing nor decreasing. Option D is going to be increasing. So we are not talking about that. Okay. Question number 13. On which of the following integrals is the function given by is going to be decreasing? So in the function enga decreasing nu kekranga. So I have f of x equals x to the 100 plus sin x minus 1. So I have f dash of x equals 100 x to the 99 plus sin order derivative is going to be cos x. Okay, so we have to look for which interval it is going to be. It is going to satisfy the condition. Ipo 0 to 1. Okay, so for example I am taking the value 0 to 1. So when I draw the cos function, ipo f dash of x eppadi irukku podhu? F dash of x is going to be, when I substitute any value between 0 and 1, it's going to be a positive value. So 100 times any positive value is going to give me a positive value. And this cos function eppadi irukku podhu? So I'm going to draw a cos function for you. So I have pi by 2, pi 3 pi by 2. The value here is 1. The value here is minus 1. We are talking about 0 to 1. If 0 to 1 na pi oda value enna? 22 by 7 times 2, which is going to be 22 by 14. What is it going to be? 22, 1 times 14. So this when I cancel, 12 minus is going to be 8, 0. This when I do, I have 6 times, 6 4s are 24, so 5 times, 1.5. So basically pi by 2 is around 1.5. If 0 to 1 na, the value is going to be from here to here. So this is going to be my 1 value. Ipo indha edathila cos oda value eppadi irukku? I see that the cos oda graph is going to be something like this and the values are all going to be positive from 0 to 1. So the cos function is also going to be positive. So two positive values, overall positive. So f dash of x is greater than 0, which means it is an increasing function. Okay, so this is not what we are looking for. In that decreasing kekranga. So this is not what we are looking for. Okay. Now second subsection. This is my first subsection. Ipo second subsection, pi by 2 to pi. Okay. In this interval, how does my cos function look like? Let me draw the cos function. Pi by 2, pi la minus 1, 3 pi by 2 is going to be 0. Then again 2 pi, it becomes 1 again. Pi by 2 to pi. How does my function look? It is going to be all negative. Okay, it is going to be all negative values. Here 100 times x to the 99 is going to be positive. Cos is going to be negative. But in that nadula enna sign irukku? It is going to be positive. You know that the value here is going to be something 100 times x to the 99 na, it is going to be around some 100 nu vechupom. Here the cos x oda value is from 0 to 1. It will not exceed that. So cos x is between 0 and 1. So when I do minus 1, in that plus of minus 1 it is going to be 99, which is greater than 0. So which means f dash of x is greater than 0 and hence it's an increasing function. Correct? Because the value here is going to be very huge than cos x. So cos x in that negative irundalo, the addition of them is going to be again positive. Okay, so this is not the integral that we are looking for. So from 0 to pi by 2. So fourth option. Now we are going to talk about 0 to pi divided by 2, option 3. So 0 to pi by 2 la again I see that the value is all going to be in the upper half, which is going to be positive. So 100 times x to the 99 plus cos x. this is going to be a positive value, this is going to be a positive value, in between I have a positive. So overall it is going to be positive. F dash of x is greater than 0, which means the function is increasing. So this is also not the right option. This is going to be none of these. But namakku kuduthirukkiradhu ellame it is not the right option gardu theriyunolla, so that you have to solve it this way. Okay, so cos function negative ah vandalume the 100 to the power 100 times x to the power 99 is a much larger function. So cos negative ah vandalume the addition is going to be positive overall. So the function is always increasing, it is never decreasing. Okay, question number 14. So for what values of a the function f given by this is going to be increasing on 1, 2. Interval kudutanga, increasing kudutanga, you have to find the value of a. Okay, so how do you do this? So first I'll find my derivative, which is going to be f of x and first I have f of x is going to be x square plus ax plus 1. F dash of x is going to be 2x plus a. I know that f dash of x has to be greater than 0 because it is an increasing function. So from this I know that 2x plus a is going to be greater than 0. So this is one thing that I have. Okay, so innonu enna kuduthirukanga, the x value goes between 1 and 2. Okay, and it is going to be equal to closed interval ngarnala it's going to be equal to. So when I want this, I'm going to multiply the whole inequality by 2. The inequality does not change. So I have 2 less than or equal to 2x less than or equal to 4. Now I need to add plus a on both the sides. So I have 2 plus a less than or equal to 2x plus a less than or equal to 4 plus a. Okay, so this is what I have. Now when I equate the two, I see that in the இடத்துல 2x plus a greater than 0, which means 2x plus a is greater than something. So I can equate these two. Correct? In the இடத்துல இந்த 0 in the 2 plus a equate பண்ணலாமா? So when I equate, I see that 2 plus a equals 0. So a equals minus 2. So we are talking about the values where a is greater than minus 2. இப்போ இதுக்கு substitute பண்ணா என்ன கிடைக்கும்? I have a plus 4 equals 0. A is greater than minus 4. So if the value is greater than minus 2, it is automatically greater than minus 4. So what is my minimum value? Minimum value is going to be a greater than minus 2. Okay, so this is my final answer. The least value is going to be a equals minus 2. So basically, which means a is greater than minus 2. Minus 2 lende ella values may, which means you are going to go above. So it is going to be minus 2, minus 1, minus 0, 1, 2 and all that. But we are equating it to 2 plus a because in the இடத்துல 2x plus a greater than. 2x plus a greater than symbol inge da irukku. Okay, and least value is going to be everything after minus 2. So it is going to be minus 2 is the least value. Okay, please copy. Question number 15. Let I be an interval disjoint from minus 1 and 1. So ஒரு interval இருக்கு, அதுல minus 1, 1 இல்ல, which means what are we talking about? Our interval is going to be, so இப்போ மொத்தமா minus infinity to infinity இருக்கு, disjoint from minus 1 to 1 னா we do not have minus 1 and 1. So how does my number line look? Minus infinity, infinity, minus 1, 1. In the particular interval எனக்கு வேண்டாம். So which one do I want? I only want this interval and I only want this interval. So what are the intervals that we are talking about? Minus infinity to minus 1 and 1 to infinity. So this is the interval that we are talking about. Okay, prove that the function given by this is increasing on I. In the particular intervals la the function is increasing nu prove பண்ண சொல்றாங்க. So I have f of x equals x plus 1 by x, which is going to be x plus x to the minus 1. So if f dash of x panna, I'll have 1 plus I'll have the minus 1 x to the minus 2. This is going to be 1 minus 1 by x square. This is my f dash of x. Okay, so now in the intervals I have minus infinity to minus 1 and 1 to infinity, and the function is going to be 1 minus 1 by x square. I need to check whether it is increasing. In the increasing nu prove பண்ண சொல்றான். So when I take the value, I can take the value 0, 0 வேண்டா, denominator la இருக்கறனால I'll take the value minus 2 for example. So denominator la என்ன இருக்கு? Square term இருக்கு. So whatever square I do, it is going to be positive. So when I substitute the value of minus 2, I have minus 1 divided by 4. When I take the LCM, it is going to be a positive value. So it is greater than 0, increasing. அதே மாதிரி இந்த இடத்துல இப்ப value 2 substitute பண்றேன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க. I have 1 minus 1 divided by 4 again. This is also going to be positive. So it is going to be greater than 0, increasing. Since this is x square, என்ன value போட்டாலுமே it is going to be increasing. Correct? So I proved that f is increasing in the disjoint set. அதனால நம்மளோட interval என்ன? Increasing in minus infinity minus 1 and 1 to infinity. Okay, please copy. Question number 16. prove that the function f of x equals log sin x is increasing on 0 pi by 2, decreasing on pi by 2 to pi. இதை prove பண்ண சொல்றான். So I have f of x equals log of sin x. F dash of x equals log sin x is going to be 1 divided by sin x, and differentiation of that is going to be cos x, and we are talking about cot x here. Okay. So illa cos x by sin x ne vechupom. Cos x by sin x. So how does my graph look like? Cos and sin. I'll draw it here. So I have pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. Pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. இந்த மாதிரி எக்ஸாம்ல போட்டுக்கோங்க, அப்பதான் வரும். Okay. Minus 1. And my cos function looks something like this. Cos 0, 1, cos pi by 2, cos pi is minus 1, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. Sin it is going to be 0, pi by 2, pi again it comes down, 3 pi by 2 is minus 1, 2 pi again it goes like that. So this is going to be cos x and this is going to be sin x. Okay, maybe I'll draw this graph properly. So this is going to be 1 pi by 2, pi by 2 length pi varum, again 3 pi, again it goes up to 2 pi. Okay, something like this. So இப்போ cos function 0 to pi by 2. So 0 to pi by 2. How does my numerator look? Numerator la the values are all going to be positive. 0 to pi by 2. So all these are positive values. And sin க்கு 0 to pi by 2. Again these are all going to be positive values. So overall it's positive. So it is an increasing function. So pi by 2 to pi. இப்போ pi by 2 to pi எப்படி இருக்கு? I see that the value is all negative here for cos function. And sin function, it is going to be positive. It is in the upper half. So cos it is negative, by sin it is positive, but overall it is going to be less than 0 and hence it's a decreasing function. So I see that from 0 to pi by 2, the function is increasing. That is what they want, right? The function is increasing, and pi by 2 to pi, f is decreasing. Okay, strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. Okay, please copy. Question number 16. Pona question mariye, I have to prove log mod cos x. Okay, so this is going to be log mod cos x is going to be f dash of x is 1 by cos x. D by dx of cos x is going to be minus sin x. So in total I have minus sin x divided by cos x. Again I am going to draw the graph from the previous question. So I have this. So when I solve this, இப்போ என்னென்ன interval பார்க்கணும்? 0 to pi by 2. So 0 to pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. Two different intervals. 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. Denominatorலையும் numeratorலையும் என்னென்ன இருக்குன்னு check பண்ண போறேன். So 0 to pi by 2 cos function. How does it look? Cos function is going to be all positive. Cos is in the denominator. So cos function is all positive. I already have a minus. அந்த minus நான் வெளியில எழுதிக்கிறேன். And how does my sin function look? It is going to be all positive. So this is going to be positive by positive, but I have a minus sign here. So this is going to be negative, which is less than 0. So it is going to be a decreasing function. Okay. அதே மாதிரி 3 pi by 2 to pi by 2 and 2 pi. So 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi cos is going to be a positive function. So it is going to be positive. Sin எப்படி இருக்கு? 3 pi by 2 to pi. So it is going to be negative. Negative. Overall, I have a minus here. So this is going to be positive, greater than 0 and hence increasing. So 0 to pi by 2, it is decreasing. So I have 0 to pi by 2, f is decreasing, and 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi, f is increasing. Okay, இந்த மாதிரி graph போட்டுட்டாலே நமக்கு சிம்பிளா புரிஞ்சிரும். Example 18. Prove that the function, exercise 18. Prove that the function given by this is increasing in r. Okay, in all values. r na அர்த்தம் minus infinity ல இருந்து infinity வரைக்கும் it is going to be increasing. So இது நம்ம first question இந்த மாதிரி தான் போட்டோம். So exact same thing. I have x cube minus 3x square plus 3x minus 100. So f dash of x is going to be 3x square minus 6x plus 3 plus 0. When I take 3 common, x square minus 2x plus 1. I want this product to be 1 and the sum to be minus 2. So minus 1 minus 1. So this can be written as x square minus x plus 1. 3 times x common எடுத்தா x minus 1. இங்க x minus 1 minus 1. I have 3 times x minus 1 into x minus 1, which is going to be 3 into x minus 1 the whole square. This term is positive and x minus 1 whole square is going to be a square term. So enna ulla negative number vandalum square panna it is going to be positive. So overall it is going to be a positive value greater than 0 and hence it's an increasing function. Okay, so this is very simple. Please copy. Question number 19. The interval in which y equals x square e to the minus x is increasing is going to be. So in the question kuduthirukka idu enga increasing nu kekran. So I have f of x equals x square e to the minus x. When I differentiate, I have in the product rule podno. So I have u v dash plus v u dash. Okay, in the form pota x square d by dx of e to the minus x plus e to the minus x d by dx of x square. When I solve this, I have x square times e to the minus x with a minus sign plus e to the minus x times 2x. When I take e to the minus x common, I'll have x common aduthalam. So I have e to the minus x, x common adutha, I have 2 minus x. Okay, so this when I equate to 0, f dash of x is 0 ki equate panna, I have x equals 2. So what is my interval going to be? From here to here, minus infinity to infinity. In between I have a 2. So what are my intervals going to be? Minus infinity to 2 and 2 to infinity. And how does my function look? E to the minus x times x, 2 minus x. So when I substitute some value that is in between this, let me substitute 0. So 0 substitute panna idu 0 aidum and so I'll substitute 1. Okay, so when I do that, I have e to the power minus 1 times 1 minus 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1. So I'm going to have a positive term. 1 by e is going to be positive times 1 is also positive, this is also positive. So in total I'm going to have a positive value. F dash of x is greater than 0, which means it's increasing. If 2 to infinity, now I'm going to put the value 3. So I have e to the minus 3 times 2 minus 3. So 2 minus 3 is going to be positive, but this is negative. So overall it's going to be negative, less than 0 and hence it's decreasing. So question la enna ketirukka, where is it increasing kekran. So increasing na in the interval it is going to be minus infinity to 2, f is increasing. Okay, so it is not going to be option A, it is not going to be option B, it is not going to be option C, so it is going to be option D. And minus infinity to 2 na, we are also talking about e, the function e has to be greater than 0. And power irukliya, so it is going to be 0 to 2. So understand this better. This is basically going to be x times 2 minus x divided by e to the x. Correct? The denominator should be greater than 0. So e to the x is going to be greater than 0. So another value of x also should be greater than 0, which means we are talking about the interval from 0 to 2. Okay, please copy. Our next topic is going to be slope of a tangent and normal, but idu vandu nammaloda syllabus la kadayadu from 2023. So I am not going to teach all the sums, but you have to know some basic concepts. So in that enna irukku, y equals mx plus c is going to be the equation of a line, and this m is going to be the slope of the tangent. I have written down everything. M is called the slope of the tangent and the slope is given by f dash of x, okay, which is going to be dy by dx. Ivlo nara derivatives paathomla, so f dash of x, the first derivative, is going to be the slope, which is m, and slope of the normal is going to be minus of the 1 divided by slope of tangent. If slope of tangent f dash of x na, slope of normal is going to be minus 1 divided by f dash of x. Okay, and equation of tangent enna irukku podhu, y equals mx plus c. So y equals m ku badala f dash of x times x plus c. Equation of normal is going to be, normally நம்ம ஒரு equation எழுதுவோம்ல, y minus y naught equals slope times, which is going to be slope of normal is minus 1 by f dash of x times x minus x naught. So this is my equation of a normal. Okay, இப்போ இன்னொரு முக்கியமான விஷயம் என்னன்னா, slope of a tangent is 0, which means tan theta equals 0. Tan theta தான slope. If this is the line, the slope is going to be is given by tan theta or f dash of x or m. இந்த மாதிரி different forms ல denote பண்றோம். So slope of the tangent is going to be 0 na, we are talking about tan theta, which is going to be 0. So 0 na enna artham, if you have a curve like this, the line is going to be parallel to the x-axis. The tangent is going to be parallel to the x-axis if the slope is 0. So the equation of tangent is going to be y equals y naught. Okay, if the line is parallel to the x-axis, it means that y equals y naught. If the line is parallel to the y-axis, x equals x naught. அது எந்த கேஸ்ல வரும்? When the slope of the tangent is pi by 2, it is going to be perpendicular to the x-axis. இப்போ இந்த line you see, it is going to be perpendicular to the x-axis. So tan theta is infinity, which means the tangent is parallel to the y-axis. So the equation of the tangent becomes x equals x naught. Okay, so in the இதெல்லாம் புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. You do not have it for the exam for your 12th boards, but you have to know this. Okay, With this, we are done with this topic. Let's move on to the last and final topic.